There we go. Hello. Hello, everyone. Hello. Good evening. Hope you all are doing good today. Thanks for swinging by. Welcome in. And hello. Not quite good to go yet for everything, but I didn't want to stay on starting soon anymore because that shit's boring. I wanted to at least say hi, say hello, you know, and get stuff set up on this screen. Jesus Christ, this game is really loud for some reason right now for me. But hello, everyone. Hello. Hope y'all are doing good. Welcome in. If you're not in the Discord, reason I'm starting late today is because I just wanted to get out of the house for a bit. I went fishing. Had a decent enough fishing time. But, yeah, I'm back now. And, sorry, I can't do anything more than, like, one task at a time around it. There's Snazzy.
I was having a crisis.
I see.
I ran out of toilet paper.
Oh god, yeah, that is a crisis.
Yeah, it was very bad.
That is indeed a crisis. What's good though? You are live. You are live with the peoples.
Oh. What? You could have told me that before.
Snazzy, let's be real here. You'd say that on stream as well.
Probably. You're right though. You're right.
Yeah. Something tells me you're like on the other side of the room from your mic right now.
What?
And now he's not on the other side of his room from his mic.
What are you talking about?
You.
Oh.
Anyways, hi.
Oh my god.
You ready?
Hi.
You ready for some learning?
Is it just us?
Yeah, because I didn't realize when we were talking about in the server that Neku is actually streaming his own thing right now. I don't think he saw us
Okay. All right.
talking about this.
Let me set up my own stream.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I think Vol's been busy at work today because he's been radio silent. So I think he's just been, well, working.
How are we doing this, huh?
I'll host a multiplayer thing. There's a designer mode that we can do where it's just building mode but multiplayer. That way...
wow, that's fun.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of multiplayer stuff. It's awesome. It's awesome. You could do like co-op PvP stuff, all that kind of stuff. There's different campaigns you can also do in multiplayer where I think it's either I think you spawn on the same team and you work together.
Okay. Oh, and wait, is it like Scrap Mechanic where they have like missions that you can multiplayer do, or
Kinda, yeah.
okay,
Not too
so
dissimilar, but not
great.
quite the same.
But anyway, yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, I did it with Vol before, which is why I'm kind of fine with Vol missing this, because I have run him through some stuff before.
Oh, okay. Alright.
And he has also played a decent little tiny bit himself, so not too worried about him. I can easily catch him up, because today I think I'm gonna go over the kind of same basics that I probably went over with him.
Have you ever had Flamin' Hot Doritos?
No, I don't like spicy.
That's a shame.
Not for everyone, you know.
That's a damn shame.
Not to me.
I guess you're right. Puss? No.
Let me figure out where his From the Depths is in his game stuff so I can figure out how much he's played. It doesn't show up for some fucking reason. I'm trying to see how much he has played of it, and it's not showing. There we go. He's played it. Does it show me how many hours he's? I don't know if it shows me how many hours he's played. All right, I think that's something only the person themselves can see. Anyways, okay, I can't figure it out then. Anyways, I'm gonna DM you. The password for the session is this. Once you're all good to go, you can join my session like that. Yeah.
As a security freak, that pisses me the fuck off.
It's for a 2-person lobby of a game. I don't do passwords like that all the time. I just do it when I'm doing something like this to keep it simple.
Please do not.
I don't, trust me. All my passwords are way better than that. Anyways, I'll be right back. I need an extra snack here. Keep the folks entertained for me. That's a threat.
Okay, so, since I'm keeping the folks entertained, oh, that's the wrong model. Scheisse. There we go. Thick. Um, There we go. This music is very intense.
Good sir, I must bequeath unto thee a query.
Yeah?
Why art thou munching in thy mic?
Because these Doritos are kind of fire.
Yep, that's valid. If ever was a valid reason, that is valid. Hey Square, thank you for the 30 watch. You can shake, welcome in.
Oh, are we gonna share chat?
Oh, I suppose we could do that.
Sick.
I do suppose.
Okay, so I was thinking, okay,
Twitch.
and I know I haven't played this much, so I don't know,
Yeah.
everything. See, if we get 1 or 2 designers, right? A programmer, which is
Mhm.
Lemois, and a weapons expert, which would probably be you,
Mm-hmm.
we'd have an unstoppable fleet.
I am inviting you. Now I'll start the shared chat.
I'm already in the game. Oh!
The thing you suggested 5 seconds ago, Snazzy! Also, Snaz, I'm just gonna let you know, wink wink nudge nudge, I'm having a seltzer water.
Oh, a seltzer? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah, it's blood orange flavored.
Like a hard seltzer?
See previous wink wink nudge nudge.
Okay, all right.
Wait, hold on. YouTube doesn't care about that shit anymore. Yes.
Yeah, no.
Actually, no. It's
As
good.
long
If I
as
talk about having something with the alcohols, YouTube won't
Yeah, you
call
can
me
say
a
alcohol.
children's channel and then fine me several $1,000s for not doing.
Yeah, but you
kid-friendly
already
content.
set your stream to not for kids,
They
right?
don't pay attention to that. Is my stream unlisted? I just realized. I just remembered. I set a stream unlisted recently on YouTube. Did I ever redo that? I just thought about that, but yeah, no. YouTube doesn't care. They don't care what your channel is set to. Oh, yep. It is indeed set to unlisted. Let me fix that. There we go. Now people will actually be able to see my stream. There we go. Okay. Let me know when you're good to go, and we'll run through some
ready.
attempts. You good to go? Your stream's up?
Yeah.
Okay, let me see here. Do quest for neater, easy campaign, or actually, wait, no. Wait, no. Basic designer, yes. Oh, right, I just do this, yeah.
You made chicken?
I made fried fish yesterday.
Ooh.
We had 2 fillets of tilapia that we had to cook, so, yeah. Alright, so hi! Welcome to, designer mode. Hello.
I'm gonna turn this music off.
Yeah, it's very intense, but yeah, well, hello. Gonna start out here with a little...
Yeah, I fucking knew you'd do some shit like that.
Alright. Unsummon me. How do I unsummon myself? I don't remember. I don't remember how this works.
Well.
I do
Pretty
not.
sure.
How do I die? There we go. I'll do. There we go. Okay. So first thing you're gonna want to do here, Snabs,
Yep.
is we're gonna hit B. Go into
B.
build mode.
Okay.
Or actually no, since I don't want you in build mode yet, go ahead and hit B again. Go out of build mode, then hit tab twice. Should give you free cam.
Yep.
All right. So what we're gonna do here first is we're going to
Drown me. Got you.
gonna delete everything here. I'm gonna make us a new platform here. Alright, so I'm gonna be in the middle of that big ring in the sky here. So here's a little building knowledge for your snaz. So one thing you can do is, say once I get like the length of my platform here down, like I want it to be maybe this long, right? I want to build on both sides. You hit Alt and...
Are you sure you
Bruh.
know what you're doing?
Well that's never happened before, so I'm not sure why it did that. Yeah, let me try this again. Maybe it won't self-destruct this time. Yeah, so once you have your, like, little thing down, say I want to build on both sides, right? You hit Alt plus N.
Yeah.
And then, boom! I can build on both sides at the same time, because that gives us a symmetry mirror.
Uh-huh.
So that's a very important little button for you, and then I'm just going to go ahead and just piece together this platform here. There we go.
Ben thinks he's funny.
That is pretty funny. Ben, don't listen to Snazzy, you're funny.
Ride this rice.
There we go. So yeah, once I get this done, we'll begin working on some other stuff here. But yeah, also, if you want to switch build modes, you'll probably find, like I did, that both modes are fun, or have their uses. So if you hit F3 while in build mode, you'll switch between keyboard and kind of like mouse controls. Keyboard I find is useful for building large areas, and then mouse mode is for kind of manually placing stuff in more finicky areas, or not. They have your uses. I'm not coherent enough right now to fucking tell you exactly what's what. But
Gotcha.
yes, this. So yeah, we have our nice little big platform here. One other thing I will do here is we have, if in the build mode you hit E, you look at the left side, you see there's two green buttons. You got sub-objects and you got prefab mode. If you do prefab mode, it'll give you like this, like kind of like hollow button. What you do is you can hit that, and then if you hit middle mouse, it'll allow you to click this stuff on your screen, and this is what allows you to make just like, well, really easy building of like large objects. So now, with prefab mode, instead of building each one individually, I can do this.
Oh, yeah, you can just copy paste.
Yeah, it's basically copy paste, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go ahead and make this platform just a little bit bigger here. Just so we have tons of space to work on some stuff here. There we go, that'll do. So now that we have this little platform here, we're going to work on the first thing here is, I'm gonna tell you about, we're gonna start with Steam engines, because those are kind of the easiest to use, easiest to set up. So, over
How
here,
do I exit
build mode.
Not build mode, prefab mode.
You just go into your E menu again, and you just click, like, typically what I do is I go into blocks, I click a random block and hit the one block selection just to quickly get out of it.
Okay.
But yeah, so we'll start kind of over here in the middle by here. Or actually, no. And we'll start over here in this corner. Over here is where I'll
You need
begin.
a hearthstone first?
No, heartstones are not necessary unless you do, unless you want to use your dude, your little guy, your little fella.
Oh.
I do not use heartstones. So yeah, if you see the little metal pillar in the corner, we'll start there, and I'll show you the basics of Steam engines to start.
Okay.
So let me pick up here. So I'll start with the small Steam engine. So first, you get a small Steam controller. This takes up the entire tile that it's on. And then you get a boiler. And then what you want to do is, depending on your setup, you either want to attach a pipe to it like this. Which actually, real quick, just for the sake of this demonstration, I'm going to attach some material containers onto this. I'll go over material stuff later. Because without the materials, this won't work. So there we go. So you'll notice now that the pipe's on, it's venting steam. So you can do stuff like this, where if you want to do like different setups with this, you can use these pipes, but that's for later. You can also just go in, because what you use these for is either generating engine power or electric power. And I'm going to go over the electric power real quick, because that's easy. So, once you get these, you go to the...
Alternator for that, right?
No. Or, for which one? Or, well, no, there's no alternator.
For generating power.
There's no alternator.
What
I'll show you. So, what's up?
Oh, the tutorial had it.
Alternator.
Maybe I'm thinking of a different flock.
Maybe. I don't know. I've never used one. So what you do here, from here, if you want to generate electrical power, you go into the... If you see the steam engines on the left, you go in there. We're doing the small one now, so we do the small turbine generator. What you can do is you can select a small turbine middle. And then you can place that down, and then you put the generator on the very end. And you have a working energy generation system.
Okay.
You can place a battery and electric engine on top of that. And there you go. That is making electrical power and also a little bit of engine power, but that's not really the main point of this. The electric engines really only tend to be useful on smaller vehicles, from my experience.
Wait.
Yes,
Why
Sven,
would
this
you-
is left click to place the block game. So this is a kind of like basic setup here, and this is for electrical energy, but you probably want to know how to make engine power. We'll do the same kind of setup. We'll do the boilers, and you can have however many boilers you want. I'm just doing 2 for the sake of making it easy to look at. And now, instead of doing a turbine, we're going to go ahead and use some of these pipes. I'm going to use a 2 meter here just for the sake of having a little space. So the simplest setup you can kind of do is you just take a small piston, you place it on there, and then you attach it to a crank, which for the crank's the easiest way to tell if you are placing it the right way is having the...
Another way to
like
get
this.
electricity from steam is to attach a generator to a flywheel that is on the shaft you're about to cover.
Yes, I know. Thank you. Welcome in, by the way. And then, once you have the crank on it like this, you put a small gearbox there, and boom, you have a little bit of engine power. But, one thing that is important to note, steam engines have like a spool-up time, basically. Especially for heavier ships. If you do not have them in action before a battle, they will take some time to like power up, especially if it is a lot of different systems powered by steam. It can end up in, if you have a flying vehicle, in your vehicle falling into the water and sinking. But I'll demonstrate that later.
Okay.
So, from here, this is kind of like the most basic setup, but you'll notice that, well, one, we could do something else here, so, I'm gonna do the same kind of setup. We'll do the same kind of thing over here, but instead of using a 2 meter pipe like this, I will do a 1 meter, and then we'll do a 3-way pipe. Because then what we can do, we can place 2 of these like this, connect them into the same steam system, use 2 cranks, and then this is kind of like a simple demonstration of one way you can do a larger steam system. And this gives even more power.
Okay.
And that's just one of the few ways, but typically depending on what you want to build, you might not be using the small ones a lot. And even if you are, you're going to want to do a couple different things. And I'll use some actual builds from my own vehicles to show you kind of like some good real examples of stuff that I've done that works pretty well.
Okay.
But one other important thing before I move on, you'll notice if you look at the steam engines, they're running at an input pressure of 1.7. out of 10. So one important thing here is that these pistons, I believe, can use about 5,000, I'm reading it right, 5,000 steam per second for their max input. Well, our boilers over here only make 1,500 a second. So one way you can increase the amount of steam is attaching, say, a second system of boilers into the same thing. So we'll do, oh, I don't know, something like this. And boom, you have 2 boilers on the same system. But, you know, that's only making 3,000 steam per second. You can increase the size of the boiler, which will increase the volume they can hold as well as the steam they can make. Because the boilers themselves can store steam as well. But that also might not be enough for what you need, right? So, one other thing, which I haven't used it too much, but it can be useful, is you can make one of these. A steam tank, which is, as you can probably guess, for storing steam that you generate.
Okay.
Which I don't think I really need to demonstrate that. You plug it in one side, goes in the other. Oh my goodness! Neku, thank you for the raid! Hey, welcome in, Neku. Me, yes.
Neku.
You, well, what's up, Neku? Yeah, so steam engines are pretty simple, yes, but then I decided against it because I didn't feel like playing Battlefield 6 today. And so instead, we're doing this impromptu. So, let's see, hold on, I get, my thoughts got lost here for a second. But yeah, so, small steam engines, which actually you can notice, this is making enough steam to power both of these at full pressure. Because the pressure stuff's a little different to the steam they can hold and stuff, and how much they can use per second. There's a lot of different stuff. Here, I will add you, Neku. There we go. There we go. And I'll have to increase the size of the lobby here. So once I see you boot up the game, Neku, I'll get into, I'll make a bigger lobby.
Done.
Wonderful, okay.
Well, this game is like you open up.
Okay.
It's not.
I will go ahead and pick things up here a little bit. Then, I'll set it to 4 players just in case Vol swings by.
Yeah. I was like, he's
password's
gonna
still
play,
the same, so Neku, here's the password in the group chat I just added you to.
Yeah.
It pisses me off.
Good.
I was like, oh, they're going to play Battlefield.
Nope, I changed my mind.
Suddenly, you're doing the fucking school.
Mm-hmm.
It's Nazar.
Snazor.
Alright,
It's Nazar.
you both are in. Wonderful. Alright, so, I forgot to save my little building platform here. So I'm just gonna go ahead. So again, real quick, what you want to do is you hit tab and you can go into your free cam, and I will make us a new kind of building work platform here.
Blub, 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 blub.
Actually, hold on. Prefab mode. Ah, it didn't save my prefab either. Damn it. Hold on. There we go. Alright. Oh god, it's doing it again, and I don't know why. Oh, there we go.
Options. Sound.
Oh yeah, you're gonna wanna... Yeah.
Music 5%.
Yeah. The music is, yeah, very loud.
Music is so very, very loud.
Okay. It should be wide enough for the platform. There we go. I'm just gonna set this back up. Bam. One more. There we go. Okay. So what I'll do this time, by the way, is I'm going to do it a little differently where I'm just going to set everything up and then kind of run you through the different systems and then show you kind of like the components. So I'll start over here and you can watch me kind of piece them together if you want to. So again, we'll start with the steam engine here. Small boiler. And then, actually, one last thing you can do. So typically I'll run like 3 or 4 boilers if I'm doing a small steaming system because typically... Oh, sorry. I'll typically do 3 boilers because I'll usually be running multiple small boilers.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll probably usually I'll do something like this, where I will have, again, it's just something simple like this put together here. And then, bam, and we have our system here. So I also need to replace our materials on the bottom here so we can actually do shit. There we go. So typically what I'll do with a steam system like this is I will run a couple things here. So usually I will do, let's see, let me put together a, actually hold on, let me do different 4-way, this one, there we go. Or no. 5-way? Do I want to do a 5-way? I guess I do a 5-way. Yeah, typically I'll do something like this. This is kind of like the setup I have in mind here. Yeah. So this will be kind of like your kind of probably smaller size ship, not too heavy, kind of engine system. Typically I'd run 2 of these, I think. So what I'll do here is I'll show you kind of like what I'm planning. Is I'll do a piston system like this.
Let's see.
And then what we'll do here is actually this.
I forgot the whole spin thing.
There we go. Okay, hold on. This one. There we go. And we'll do this. Because this will, one main thing you want to know about pistons is the direction that they output is that second arrow that you don't plug into. It's the one pointing away from the center of the machine. You want to make sure that is clear or has a steam pipe vent on it. Otherwise, it cannot vent out its excess pressure that it needs to put out. I don't really understand why, but like you need to have that. Otherwise, they won't work.
Be able. A real steam engine or a real steam piston, it wouldn't be able to reset to its default position to get pushed again.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll run a system like this basically, where we will have a twin piston setup here, and they won't be running too well because it doesn't have well, an enclosed system, so it's venting all of its pressure. So no, we're not going to do that because instead, what we're going to do is this. We will do a pipe connection for the turbines. We'll do turbine windows like this, and then we'll do our generator here, and then we'll do some batteries, kind of like this. And then the engine over here. And boom, you have a electrical energy generation system with engine power as well. And once it's powered up to full pressure, or as high a pressure as it's going to go, which if you want to increase the amount of pressure, you can do something like adding an extra extra one of these systems, an extra boiler like this to increase the pressure in the system. Or for a system this size, something else you can do is instead of running small boilers, which I also have one more thing to touch on, but I'll touch on that in a second. Instead of running a small boiler, what you can do is I'll actually use prefab mode here to yoink my little system here. So say I want to build the same kind of system, but maybe I want to use less boilers. I want something more efficient, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you think I should do in that case, do you think? Well, I'll tell you. We use a medium boiler,
Oh.
which we'll have to kind of change around the position of the batteries a little bit for this new setup, which I'll show you kind of how you can compact those in. But one singular medium boiler, just one block of it, can produce 7,500 steam a second.
Yeah.
4 of these together produce only 12,000. 4 of these 3 boilers, 3 small boilers, only make 12,000. 2 of these, 15,000.
Okay, good.
So yeah, it's a lot more efficient in terms of that. The medium ones, though, do end up using... Let's see, hold on. Let me real quick do some math here. So that's 15 a second. 5 a second. Hold on, let me just do some quick math here. Yeah, unfortunately, the one downside is the larger boilers are less material efficient, which you have to burn material to generate the steam.
Yeah.
Which, you know, I guess, you know, makes sense. You need to burn something, and you're burning the material.
So you mean these if you can make like a lot of smaller ones, they are gonna be more efficient, but
Not
in
quite.
the size.
It's a matter of diminishing returns, because, sure, you know, that it might seem like, you know, oh yeah, if I just have a bunch of small ones to make the same amount, you know, it'll be more efficient. But I want to... Hold on, sorry, I stopped making the thing float for a second. I want to put this in perspective for you. This is how large... Hold on, actually, let me real quick. I'm going to prefab this and move it away a little bit. So we have a little more space here to kind of differentiate between everything we're looking at here.
God, I forgot. How do you go robot?
I don't remember the buttons. I don't, like, ever use it, so...
Yeah, I was
Okay.
like, should be Shift G, but it's not doing.
I think it's because we don't have a Hearthstone or something. Yeah, so look at the size difference, or the width difference of the boilers to make the same amount of steam, right? After a certain point, using the, which, you know, honestly, you could also do, like, you could, like, stack these on top of each other, but at some point, it's, like, just not worth it, because all I have to do then is just, you know...
2 pieces.
All I have to do to make it even better is just add a third one of these. And boom, that is 22,500 steam per second. Meanwhile, I'd have to run, let's see, so this is 12,000, right? I'd have to have another stack of these to make the same amount. And actually, it's... I believe it's actually, for this, it's a rate of 1 material per 1,000 steam per second for the medium ones. So, it's not even that much. Relatively speaking, your ships are not going to be using the full steam generation, like, normally. Anyways, they're not going to be using all of that steam. So, it's not really that worth it to use a bunch of small ones for the sake of a tiny bit of extra efficiency when you can get more power and output from fewer mediums. And one other thing I'll do here real quick is just kind of show you one other way we can kind of piece together the batteries here. And so all these will kind of be all in the same kind of small area, and boom, you have your batteries. You can add them along like this, and you just have a nice compact system.
The batteries also can used to be like protected the boilers.
Not really the point, because they don't have any health.
Oh.
It's not the right idea. Like, I don't want you to think that way, because that's not a good idea. Yeah, so there you go, you have...
It's stupid, Neku. It's dumb and it's stupid and you shouldn't think like that.
Yeah. Realistically, you don't need this much energy either for a ship that's going to be using a simple setup like this. You really only will need, like, this much energy if you're actually using the electrical energy. Not all setups even need it. Typically, you either need... typically you really only need the electrical or the engine power. And electrical power, at least for me, is I typically use that for weapon systems, which we'll get into in a little bit. Yeah, and one last thing here, and these are for your real fucking heavy bastard ships. You have the large boilers.
Let's see.
As you can tell, they're large, beefy fuckers. To the point where even the boiler control itself is a boiler, unlike the previous two systems. The large boiler itself, or control itself, is also a boiler. So these things are a lot less efficient. Actually, no, they actually use the same amount of materials a second as a medium boiler. They're just a lot less space efficient. Well, not even, because they have huge output. That's the point. They have a lot of output. They have a lot of capacity, and they are used to make the biggest systems you can. And you can also kind of experiment around with like the different size cranks and everything. That's really kind of up to you. That's personal preference and kind of like specific scenarios. But yeah, this is kind of like.
It to push more water, you should make it bigger.
Push water. What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do you mean push water? This is a boat game, no?
Oh, Snazzy, you sweet summer child. Snazzy, let me real quick here. The platform's gonna fall into the water for a little bit. Let me break your misconception about this being a boat game.
I know that you can make land.
Snazzy, I'd like you to meet the Bob.
The Bob.
The Bob. This is not just a boat game.
Maybe 1 minute.
Oh. It would appear that I'm mistaken.
This is so much more than a boat game. This is the Bob. This is the third iteration of it that I've engineered. Yeah. I will give you the tour later. This is a little above what we're doing. How the fuck do I delete it?
It looks like it used to be a boat.
Yeah, so this thing I used, which I'll show you in a second, but I used the prefabs that are saved in, or that are, like, in the game to make the hull. I used 2 different kinds of prefabs to make it. And as you can see, it's a hovercraft.
You have the machine guns phasing through shit.
Not really, they just are kind of anchored there. I will touch on this later. I don't know how the fuck to get rid of it. How do I despawn you? I don't know how to do that in this mode.
Okay.
I'll just go to the bottom of the ocean for now, Bob. I'll see you later.
It's a boat, Strand. Oh.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't, Snazzy.
Not anymore, at least.
Again, I will touch on that later. For now,
Not even supposed to be amphibious.
no. I'll go into details later. So
Okay.
for now, yeah, I'll show you something smaller of mine that I've created. Actually, no, wait, no. What do I want to show next? Actually, I guess first, do you have any questions about steam engines?
No.
Actually, I guess you have that one main thing about them pushing water, which, yes, you can actually use these to, do water propelling systems. Which you want to do, I think, small shaft propellers, which you can run with some other blocks through, like, hulls and stuff. I'm going to be honest with you, I have never used these. So...
That what it's supposed to be for?
Well, no, it's a steam engine. It's also for generating power. Like these, the pistons.
Oh.
I guess I should ask, do you understand what the concepts of the engine power are?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, good, okay. So yeah, these generate engine power, and that's for the ship's mobility. Alright, I guess next up, I will talk to you about... you keep it up by the way, Neck? Oh, Neku's muted. Okay, well. I guess next up, I'll show you, fuel engines next. So these ones are, the main thing about them is they are a lot more compact. So if you look, do you see where I'm working on the, fuel engine over here?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, fuel engines, as you can tell, are a lot more compact. This is like the controller for them, the fuel engine generator, or end generator. So these things are kind of simple, but kind of difficult at the same time. So you have your fuel engine here, and yeah, I will be honest, I'm not experienced with these yet, but I'll do my best to kind of show what you do, or what you do with these. So you take your fuel engine, then you need to make some crankshafts. Take them out in front of your engine here. These connect to other things. What you do is you have, on top of these, cylinders. And these are what are going to make your engine power. I think. Right? I think so. Yes. So these are going to be what are your main kind of like power generators for your engine. And you can do something kind of simple like this, but it takes a bit of work to get these to, well, work properly. And I don't fully remember off the top of my head how to build these, so I will use a prefab I saved that I made myself. Gonna help demonstrate, because I forgot. So this is a simple fuel engine I've put together. Ignore the fact that it is completely white. I was painting in the wrong color during the time I was building this. So, yeah, it might look like a lot, but we'll go through this step by step. So,
Sorry, I'm late.
welcome back. So back here, on this side, is where we have our fuel engine generator. So the front is this side that has the metal blocks in front of it.
Oh, you wonder what?
So, yeah, the way this works is you go from the fuel engine. I'm going to delete some stuff on the top. You have, kind of like what I showed before, you have your crankshafts. And on top of those crankshafts, you can place your cylinders. And again, those are what generate your power to start with.
Mm-hmm.
And then, on the side of these, you place these. These are your injectors. They attach to cylinders, and they give you a lot more power, but they make it less efficient.
Let's see.
On top here, you see we have the radiators, and those are probably self-explanatory. Those help cool your systems. You need a kind of... there's a ratio somewhere you can probably find to figure out the ratio of radiators to heat generation and all that stuff. I don't know that yet, so I'm not going to be going through that with you. But this system, or one other thing, you have your carburetors. These are similar to the cylinders. They attach to the cylinders and generate further power. And on top of these, you can also add superchargers. And these are, well, superchargers. They go onto carburetors, and they cause them basically to make more power for each fuel burned, and they're stronger when the engines aren't running as strongly. So the lower engine RPM, the more efficient it is. And they're pretty useful. It's just a matter of, again, setting up a system for what fits your needs. So yeah, this is a pretty basic system, though. I'm not too well versed in these yet. Oh yeah, one last thing. I have not yet learned these. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know how to fucking use these. But you have the carbureted turbochargers. And the cylinder turbochargers. I, again, don't actually know how to connect these yet.
From my understanding of turbochargers, it uses an intake.
Let's see that.
Oh, hey, I figured it out. So this
It
silver
use-
pipe kind of side plugs into the carburetor. And it uses exhaust pressure, I think, to...
Yeah. It uses some sort of intake to spool up a little,
Yeah. This one is kind of like something I will unfortunately have to say basically you might have to learn yourselves a bit because I am still learning these ones. I'm not too terribly familiar with them yet. So yeah, these ones, experiment with them. I'm sure you can figure them out. It shouldn't be that hard. And when you also, early on, something that might be useful is studying the prefab engines that are in the game. I personally am a big fan of the power brick. This prefab here, that is for the fuel engines. It's a simple small one that'll give you a decent 1200 power. It's not a lot, but this system doesn't need exhaust piping, because in this game, you only need the exhaust piping to cool your thing, but if you have enough cooling, it doesn't need it. And one other thing here is for steam engines, there are a couple prefabs as well, but I would honestly suggest not using those. It's better to custom make your own steam engines most of the time, because you can probably make something a little more efficient and more effective for the space you have. Yeah, so this is the main difference between fuel and steam engines, is that the fuel engines are just more compact.
Yeah.
For a bit less energy, or a bit less material, power though. They don't generate nearly as much typically. At least I haven't figured it out yet. But yeah, that's kind of the basics of your engine systems. And one other thing that is important for your fuel engines is you need plenty of fuel storage boxes.
Yeah.
If you don't have enough of these, they won't run properly. But also, because, be careful, because with these boxes in particular, if they get shot, they burst into flames.
oh my god.
Yeah, so they are going to be a pretty substantial weak point in your system. You're going to want to make sure these are nice and protected, away from anything else that's flammable. Especially, I'll touch more on these later, but especially you don't want to do this. You don't want to have your fuel and your ammo storage right next to each other.
Oh yeah, the two things that tend to explode when ignited.
Yeah.
I wonder what happens.
Good. Okay. So yeah, that's kind of like the basics of it. Of engine power. Again, a lot of it is just going to come from building your own systems and getting more used to doing so and figuring out what works for what and where. So yeah. I will go over my, once we get a little further into our lessons here, I'll give you guys a tour of some of my engine systems and some of my ships like the like the Bobs. But for now, do either of you have any questions about these?
No, because for this thing, I play like in Minecraft a game mod called Create before. It works kind of like that, so.
Also, side note, this seltzer's actually really good. I like the flavor of this.
The what?
The seltzer I'm having right now, it's actually really good. I like the flavor.
What flavor is it?
It's blood orange.
Oh yeah.
I am a fan of that flavor. Anyways, so if you guys are good, we will move on to the next thing here. I'm gonna set up a little lineup for you here. Alright, so I'm gonna go over to this kind of side over here. So I'll set up a couple guns here for you guys to look at. We'll kind of set up like these.
Ooh!
Like these, like this. Like these, like that. Stuff like this. Stuff like that. Stuff like this. And this. Alright, so tell me, what do you think about these guns? This is a lot of the simple weapon classification stuff. What do you think? What comes to mind here when you're looking at these?
Destruction.
All right, all right. Neku, do you have any
Yes.
thoughts? Yeah, Neku,
Bullets.
I'm doing a little bit teaching. Yeah, welcome in. What's up, Neku? What are you thinking?
Bullets.
Bullets. Okay. All right. So real quick, let me just put down some ammo boxes just so that when I do some weapon testing stuff, it'll actually work. I'm just gonna go ahead and save you guys the pain that I went through. Don't fucking bother with simple weapons. There's only 2 you need to really worry about. These suck. They don't do anything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the ones you will want to be probably interested in a bit are the ram blocks, which you just place on a ship, and if you run into something, they do damage based on the speed, which, you know, has
Okay.
application. And then, I think you see where this is going.
That Canuck incoming.
Yeah.
Oh.
Enough said,
Yeah, kind of weak.
It's a tactical nuke. I'm real quick just gonna set up a little system here of these dudes to repair the platform now that I've blown it up partially. And I'll talk about those little dudes later. But, so next up, we're gonna go over to this corner, over here. I'm gonna, this little mark here.
The fuck are these little dots? Oh.
Yeah, so that indicates missing blocks. If you see those little flying dudes, those are the, repair bots. I will talk about those guys later, because I love those little dudes. But yeah, if you see this corner, we're going to go over here next, because I'm going to teach you about the good stuff. We are going to talk about weapons.
Uh-huh.
Alright, we're gonna start with, I guess we'll just go from top to bottom here. We're gonna start with the cram cannons. I will preface, I'm not too terribly familiar with the cram weapons yet. I'm still kind of learning them and figuring them out. But, so, you have the heart of the entire system. You got your cram cannon firing piece. Are you... Stop that.
Sorry.
Pay attention, young man. So you have your cram
I'm
cannon firing piece. Oh, Necro, you know about cram stuff? Alright, fantastic. So,
No.
he can... No, Necro, not Neku.
Okay.
So, one thing you'll probably notice immediately is if you look at your cram firing piece here... Actually, this reminds me, there's a system I need to talk about before this. I always forget about these. So, we're gonna go back between the engines here real quick. Back over here. Because we have something important to talk about, and these are the AI mainframes. This is the AI mainframe. This is your ship's brain. If you don't have one of these, your ship won't work. Plain and simple. You need one of these. You need to always have a wireless transmitter attached to it, typically. Unless you're doing some weird crackhead build. Typically, you're going to want one of these, though. And you're going to need a couple different things with your mainframe. So the first thing you're going to want is an AI card slot, or 2. Depends on what you're doing. These will allow you to plug in a couple different chips into your ship. So what you can typically do is, if you're doing, say, a boat, you want to go in, you're going to want a plug-and-play card, typically, unless you want to design it yourself. Early on, I'd suggest using a plug-and-play card, just for the simplicity of it. And so I want a circling ship that will circle around my enemies and shoot them with a broadside gun or something, right? So I'll plug in that card there, into there, boom. It's got a pre-set up AI that'll make the ship do that. You can adjust it, but we'll get into that later. But yeah, you have your simple AI there. That'll control your ship. And now, say I want to... Yeah.
I learned that's the thing you have to destroy to take over other
Yeah.
ships, right?
Yep. Exactly. You destroy this, you're able to send your dude onto the enemy ship and control it. Yep. I will preface, by the way, right now, it's actually really hard to do unless you design something with that kind of capability in mind.
Yeah, need to have
That's-
lots of penetration power.
Yeah. So one other thing is, typically you're also going to be wanting aim point selection cards. These are for helping your ship to decide what to target on an enemy. It's pretty general stuff. It's just which block, where do I want to look for my blocks that I want to shoot? Do I want to shoot above or below the water? You're going to typically want to target stuff above water. Being below water, or trying to shoot things below water, typically just reduces effectiveness of pretty much every weapon. Unless you're hitting a boat, in which case you can probably sink them. But that's specifically for boats. It will allow you to, by the way, if you hit Q on it, on the card, you can take a look at what I'm looking at. So you can tell it to hit above or below water. You can tell it how long do you want to focus on a block before switching targets. So it'll be like, say it's targeting a block that's deeper in the enemy ship, or it's on the other side of the ship from you, and the enemy had like turned or something, so now it's targeting a block through the enemy. Do you want to just quickly be changing between targets, or do you want to focus and drill through enemies? If you want to do that, you want a high time before changing targets. The last thing is targeting, like, what does it want to target? Do you want to target random blocks? Just target whatever the fuck it decides to. Clusters of blocks, so typically it'll be choosing to fire on, like, well, bigger clumps of, like, just more packed together blocks and armor. Or if you have infrared cameras, do you want to target hot blocks? Like, typically you're going to be targeting thrusters and engines if your cameras can see them. And then the last thing you're going to need is a lot of these dudes. You're going to need a lot of connectors. It depends on the size of your, it depends on what you want to do with your ship, basically. But in this case, I will be putting down a bunch of these because the last thing you really typically are going to need a lot of is general processing cards. And you're going to want to put those all over pretty much anywhere it will let you. Because these will give your ship, well, obviously, more processing power. And that will be important later. There are a couple different things that take a lot of processing power, which I will get into in just a moment. But yeah, so that's kind of the AI Basics 101 here. There's other stuff we'll get into in a moment, because that's only the kind of, like, AI systems part. We still have to get into detection stuff, but that's really simple. I'll also touch on radars in a little bit here. Yeah, so next up, we're going to go back over to our lovely little cram firing piece here. So what you want to do is... Here, I'm trying to remember the way these work. Right, so I think it's like... This? Yeah. So, wait, no. Ah, it's like this. No, wait. I think these? No. Oh god, what? How the fuck did these work again?
Packers, connectors, firing piece, barrels.
Yeah, he's gone in the opposite direction, though. I'm trying to reverse engineer it. Fuck. I don't remember. Ah, there we go. Right. Obviously, the fucking 6-way connector. We're gonna do that for basics, but this is kind of like what connects everything, obviously. So then we're gonna do a payload compactor, like I don't know here. I'm not experienced with these, so this is gonna be something kind of like, again, you're gonna probably need to do some testing yourself. But then you got your payload compactors, and these ones increase the capacity of a cannon's shell. It makes it have a bigger payload. It allows you to have a bigger payload in your shell. I'm gonna simply use pellets here, but yeah. Next, you want your pellets. We're gonna put down some HE pellets on the side here, because we're gonna just kind of go through a basic kind of like pirate mentality here of just Yarhar big explosive cannon. So we're gonna put those along the side. They're all connected. This will load in explosive, again, pellets. Actually, pardon me. What we're gonna do first, instead of that, we're going to put down Packers. Forgive me for fucking up the order of that. Again, I'm not experienced with cram cannons. So what Packers do, they fill cram shells with the materials from the pellets that you have attached to them. And these can connect to pellets or compactors, and it can accept up to 3 of those. So now what we're going to do is we're going to slap cram shells, or pellets, on top of them like this. So we can do something like this, which will have them both connected.
You should use symmetry.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I've been working on some stupid stuff that the symmetry tools have not been working too well on, so that's why I wasn't doing that. Yeah, so
Dear Lord.
So yeah, you can use something like this, and this is just kind of like a really basic setup that probably isn't even that good, but like it's just for sake of example. And the last thing on the back, you're going to do some gauge increasers, because you can have a decently large cannon with these. For example, this Kerem cannon is already a 1200 millimeter shell.
Oh,
Jesus.
okay.
And so the last thing, yeah, the gauge increasers are what increase the caliber of that. But yeah, so we're gonna just stick with this for now. It's just kind of, again, the basics. And then you can have a couple different barrels. We're gonna just do a pretty basic barrel here for now, just for the sake of simplicity. And yeah, this is kind of like your basic setup. After this, you'd want to armor it.
Why is it limp?
What?
Why is it gone soft? What happened here? Why is it pointing downwards?
It isn't for me.
Oh.
But yeah, boom.
Oh!
Cannon. Of course, there's a lot of
Oh,
different things you can
bounces
still
on
do with
water.
these.
Wait, so if the gauge is increased, does that also increase the barrel?
Yes. So if you see, if I watch the barrel, if I delete one of the gauge increasers,
Okay. I need you to pack those. Just
The barrel.
put a whole bunch on. I need to see how big it gets.
Alright, yeah, hold on, let me just turn the symmetry back on. There we go. There is a max size, I believe. I don't remember what that is, though.
That's unfortunate.
But
Oh, Jesus.
we're already up to 2,000. I think it is 2,000. Yeah, it's 2,000 millimeter shells.
Yeah.
2,000 millimeters.
And something I noticed, this shell bounce on water.
Yeah, so shells can and probably will ricochet off of water. It's just, you know, physics.
That's neat.
So yeah, this is, yeah, Krem's Basics 101. There's a couple things I didn't touch on, but that's kind of like, you can probably figure it out yourself pretty easily. There's a couple different barrel types and stuff. But one last thing we're going to do, though, because I haven't yet touched on that, is, well, obviously, if you look at the Krem firing piece, you'll notice, hey, what's that orange text say? Not controlled by AI. Allow me to introduce you to the block you're probably going to use the most in terms of not, like, actually building a hull. Local weapon controllers in the AI tab. You're going to go into those. You're going to click the all-in-one. I don't think I have ever used the local weapon controller. But yeah, you're gonna take the all-in-one. You're gonna like go say underneath or something, somewhere inconspicuous, out of the way, and boom. This is typically how I do them, and bam, now this thing is controlled by AI. If an enemy were to go past this side, it would automatically try firing, except it won't. Do you want to know why it won't right now?
Because there's no enemy.
Well, true, but not in the hypothetical.
Zero of these weapons can aim at the current targets because it's not a. There's no target. No, wait.
No,
I
you,
mean-
Oh, he has the failsafe connected.
no, that is a good thing to think of, though. The failsafes are important, but that is not the problem right now. So what can this setup right now? What can this platform do? It can generate its own energy and engine power. It has its own AI. It has a gun. It's controlled by an AI, but what is it lacking that would allow it to hit a target?
Oh, something to maneuver the barrel.
Not quite, because all kind of like stuff like that can kinda, you notice the barrel is moving a little slowly. This is why I talked about the different barrels.
It's got a soft.
It can look around a little bit, just really slowly, but that's not it either. Not quite. But you can build on turrets, and I'll demonstrate those in a little bit. No, this system currently is missing any form of being able to see.
Okay.
So yeah, currently this entire platform has no eyes, no ears, no nothing. It cannot detect an enemy whatsoever. So what we're going to do here, we're going to do a couple different simple things here. So my favorite kind of setup here for a, we're going to imagine this is just a kind of cannon, like facing forward or something. So my favorite kind of main, like, cannon system setup is, I like to do a connector on the front here, kind of nearby where the AI is. This is just how I set them up. you can probably figure out a better way to set them up. You're going to want to put a wireless receiver on that connector somewhere. And then lastly, in the AI tab, in the top right, you're going to look at the detection components, where it has a very bright yellow caution kind of thing pointing to it saying, hey, AI needs these to aim weapons. And so what we're going to do here is I'm going to demonstrate a couple different little setups here. Which I'll go ahead, I'm going to go over to the left a little bit here and show you a couple different ideas. So the first one, the simplest kind of idea here is, actually I'm going to go over here, set this up like this, just so we can, a little space, just to kind of properly demonstrate how this would go. So one thing that I was suggested to, and it gives you some pretty solid stuff, is a two kind of part system here. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a laser rangefinder tracker. This is really good for long range information on already detected targets. So if your ship knows it's there, this gives you a pretty good idea, gives your ship improved accuracy basically. It gives it a better idea of what's happening where in that enemy ship. And then on top of this, what you're probably going to do is either a radar 360, which is a 360 degree radar, which will just kind of detect enemies that are, well, within the line of sight of it. And this gives your ship an idea of where that enemy is. You can also do, and I suggest using a mix of these on any given ship, you can also do a 360 camera in this kind of setup. And this does the same thing, but this time it's visual, but it has poor range estimation. And that's the main difference, is sonars have really good range estimation comparatively. But it also, I don't remember what its downside is.
All directions except down. It can't look down.
Yeah, it can't look through itself, yeah. Yeah, so this is kind of like the basic kind of, just somewhere on the ship kind of setup. You probably want like two of these on, or one of these on each side. Well, like one on the left side, one on the right side, stuff like that. And this is a basic setup. Now, for the AI, for the gun, you're going to want that to be really accurate. You know, it's your gun. You want to not miss your targets. So, what I like to use on these is a rangefinder. Now, these are kind of like double camera setups here, and they are... they basically work by using convergence. They use their two cameras to figure out, well, the range of an enemy. And it's really good for helping your gun aim more accurately, especially with longer ranges. Now, the longer they are, the more accurate it is. So this is the smallest, the 5 meter. You could also use up to a 9 meter, and there's a 7 meter as well. You can also use this variant, which is an armored variant, so the middle bit, it has just more health. And the best part about these is they can see through...
I want to put eyebrows on it, angry eyebrows.
I understand why. Yeah, so the best thing with these is you can do this. So, bam. You know? Boom. Now it's got armor in front of it. It can still see, though, because all it needs to be unobscured is the very side bits, the cameras. So all you gotta do is just put some glass on the end, or... a little tip I was taught is, in the Decorations tab, you can use metal portholes to provide higher protection for no, loss of visibility compared to glass.
Okay.
And this is kind of the basic setup I run for protecting my kind of stuff.
Even though it's technically being blocked by the sides.
Yes, the model doesn't line up, but don't worry about that, it works. If it's blocked, you'll see it screaming something like this. Line of sight is blocked, the vehicle is blocked, so detection is disabled.
You need to only block one of those to fail, I see.
Yep, because it needs both of them to actually be able to properly aim. So yeah, that's kind of the basic stuff. Other stuff, or other honorable mentions for detection components involve, maybe you want a more compact detection system for your thing. Well, you can use a camera 90 degree camera, narrow field of vision, good accuracy though, provides pretty solid stuff. Or you can also use its cousin, the IR camera, which does the same, but it allows you to detect heat on the enemy ships. One last thing here is sonars. Those are important if you are going to be a boat, or if you are going to be a submarine, Or if you're a hovercraft that wants to be able to see down into the water for those pesky-ass fucking submarines.
Yeah.
I don't think I need to explain what a sonar does. It's basically a radar for under the water.
Yeah.
It's simple as that. And yeah, that's about it for those. That's pretty much Detection Components 101. If you want to make your life really easy, by the way, for AI, it's also got AIs also have some prefabs that you can build, like that one. But typically, you want to build your own. It's normally better to build your own, but the prefabs are there just to be really useful, basically. No shame in using them. But yeah, so that's kind of like Cram Basics 101. You probably are going to learn a lot more just by using them, but these are your just, you know, Yarhar cannon, pirate cannon kind of stuff. This is like, you want to be a pirate? Here you go. These are big, slow, dangerous shells.
Like, it's a pirate, but better.
Kinda, I guess.
I
It's
mean,
the
better
cowboy
than
shit.
using the normal cannons.
Now, next up here, we're going to talk about my personal favorite weapon system, the Advanced Cannon Systems. So, like
See how
the
to
Cram
counter
Cannon,
them.
you need your heart, your core is the APS firing piece. Works the same way. Attach an AI somewhere onto it. I'm gonna do this. Same kind of stuff. But this time, we got a couple different things here. So, with Advanced Cannons, you have mantlets. You have a couple different options here. There are basically 3 different types. You have your Omni Mantlets, which are just general, decent range all around, decent range of motion all around, gives you good angles on every direction, but not too much in any way. That's the 1 meter variant. You have the Elevation Mantlet, which can only go
Up, down.
2 directions really well, but like nothing on the other sides. Which you can also, if you want, if you want maybe more horizontal, you can flip it around and have it aim that way.
Mm-hmm.
And lastly, you have your AA Mantlet, which is, well, as you can probably predict, built for anti-air. It has basically no depression, no side to side, but it can look straight up.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course,
you can use that to the side too.
kinda, yeah. Of course, you also have the 3x3 meter variant as well for the Omni and the Elevation Mantlet. And yeah, so those are pretty simple.
No.
That's kind of the basics. I'm gonna be just demonstrating with a basic 1 meter Omni Mantlet for now. Typically, that's gonna be your kind of go-to if you don't have a specific, like, desire for,
Or it can't go in whatever direction.
Yeah, it's situational. I'm sure it's not that hard to put together. Yeah, so next up, we're gonna talk about the barrels. There's a couple different things about the barrels here, but basically, you have your normal barrels, and then you have your heavy barrels. Heavy barrels are just higher health, more expensive, but I basically never use anything but heavy barrels. Using the start, middle, and end bits don't really matter. Except for really just how it looks.
And I assume the longer the barrel, the more accurate it is.
Yeah, every, specific shells, which I'll go into in a bit, specific cannons need specific lengths of barrels for a base accuracy to be reached.
Does it lose any velocity the longer the barrel is?
Yeah, it also will need a certain length of barrel, say for gunpowder burn time. If it has a lot of, and we'll get into that in just a moment, but you're on the right track of thinking here, and I'm really glad you're thinking of these.
Okay.
Yeah, barrel length is typically pretty important, because not only that, it also just pretty much gives you a more durable barrel if you have a longer barrel, because there's more barrel for the enemy to have to destroy. I'll get into that in a moment too. But yeah, so we'll go like this, and then one last bit with barrels is you have 2 attachments you can add on to them. You have a bore evacuator, which both of these attachments I'm about to talk about, like the evacuator, are lower health than the barrels. So they kind of create weak spots, so typically you're going to want them at the end. The bore evacuator is just a extra cooling piece, basically. It just cools down your systems fast enough, and cooling is important, and I'll get to that in just a moment. And then we have the muzzle brake. With muzzle brakes, it will not apply any recoil against the vehicle that is firing, and that I will also be able to demonstrate in just a little bit here. Yeah, so that's the basic kind of barrel setup. And now we get to the, oh dear god, my brain's melting section, aka the internals. Now, buckle up. This is gonna suck. So, first off, the basically veins of the system are the cooling vents. I like to use 5 ways, typically if it's a single weapon system. One of you is actually aiming the gun right now. So these are, as you'd probably be able to imagine, what cooled the system down. And we'll get into why cooling is very important in just a moment here. But yeah, there's no 6 ways, so you're going to have to basically be thoughtful about where you are angling your cooling vents. Because if you see the top one here has a different texture than the rest of them, you cannot connect other cooling vents or gauge increasers to that side. Next up, I'm just gonna add a few more of these cooling vents just to make sure we have enough cooling for this little thing. We're gonna just do something like that.
Or
Next up, obviously, like the cram cannons, you have your gauge increasers. These give you a bigger cannon size. So these cannons can only go up to a max of 500 millimeters. But these things have a different purpose to a cram cannon. That's why they don't go as big. And I'll show you. Yeah, so we're gonna say make this a 236 millimeter cannon, and real quick, if you don't like these weirdly specific numbers, you can go into the barrel or the cannon system by pressing Q on like pretty much any system right now. You'll pull up a menu here. You can see the synchronization, which I'll get into in a moment. You can set up the control stuff, specific like things like it won't fire if it's below, say, like 5% materials in the ship left. Stuff like that, like a minimum required accuracy before it fires, so it's as accurate as possible. Or maybe you don't care as much. You can see its stats, so how much the thing costs, its firepower, what it costs, what its material cost is for its firepower, stuff like that. Just your kind of useful statistics for the more number-oriented people. And then last for now, we have the APS section, which is your gun statistics. Say I don't like that, it's 236. I'll say, we'll go into desired shell gauge and say 230, please. And that's all we'll touch in there for now. I know you probably see that other tab, but we'll get into that in just a moment. So now, we have a kind of basic little frame here. This is not how you're going to design something, this is just, for example. So now you're like, okay, well, the thing's screaming at me saying no shell loaded, so Stren, how do we get shells? Well, that's simple. In the advanced cannon,
how do we get shells?
I'm glad you asked! So there's a couple different things here that we want to think about. So first off, I'm actually going to go into this real quick because this will be, I think, the best way to... Actually, no, I'm not going to do to you what I did to myself by using these things and getting reliant on them because they make no fucking sense. So I'm not going to...
sorry.
I'm not going to tell you about the ammo controller and the ammo customizer and the module things, because those things are a fucking red herring. They're going to confuse you more than anything. They just are there for fucking looks. So yeah, we're going to go in, and we're going to go into the autoloaders and clips tab. And for this one, since we have a 230mm shell, we're going to do a 3-meter autoloader. Now, these autoloaders are the brain, stomach of your system, basically. These are where the shells are loaded. I don't know why I said stomach, but yeah. So this is what you need to load the shells. Except, if you look at them, you'll notice loader needs 1 intake. The Bob on the bottom of the ocean, I think, ran out of materials and just died, and that's why I just lagged. I heard a faint...
No, I killed it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I heard just a faint... I was like, what the fuck?
Bye-bye.
Yeah, so you'll notice when you're looking at the autoloaders, they are saying loader needs 1 intake for sustained fire, has 0. So we're going to back out of the autoloaders and clips tab and look at the ammo input feeder. This one is what inputs the materials into the system so that it can load its shells. And they can go on only a select few spaces. Typically, you're going to be putting them on the back of these, depending on the shape of your system. And so there we go. But now you're going to notice the intakes are angry and saying, no shell assigned. Now, I want you guys to hit Q on this for me here, on the intakes. And you notice it has just this big menu that pops up. Nothing's in it, though. So let me know when you both are in this menu.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Alright, so what I want you guys to do is hit Create New Shell Design. We're all going to work on our own one here. So, I don't know who's in Armor Piercing 1, who's not in a shell design right now.
I'm in 3 right now.
Okay, I'll take 2. So I want you guys, real quick, Neku, set yours back down to 12 parts. We'll get to that in a moment.
4? Okay.
Yeah, 12 parts.
Oh, 12.
Yeah, 12 parts. That's the default. That's typically what you're going to be starting with on anything. It's a good amount. So we're going to go through a couple stats here. So first off, you'll notice you have your modules on the left side. We're not going to look at those right now because I'm going to run through a couple stats and different things. So the first thing you're going to want to do, I'm going to real quick. On the right side, you'll see you have a couple different things here.
Are we basically going to be making best shell?
Well, that depends. I'll get into it in a little bit here.
Smash head.
I'll get into it in a little bit here. So, well, the first thing you're going to want to do is, if you want your stats here on the right side to match the shell, I want you to go into the shell gauge for stats, where it says 60 where it says 60, and you're going to type in 230 there, because that'll reflect the actual caliber of the shell we're making. And you can do that to whatever size, and then now the stats will change, and you'll see expected muzzle velocity, 1043, yada yada yada. So, I don't think I need to explain to you muzzle velocity. Detection range means how far away can your shell be detected by a munition warner, which is another item I will talk about in just a moment here. That is a defensive item. How much health the shell has, which means how hard it is for anti-munition stuff to destroy it. The effective time before drag will knock it out of the air, which is basically how long the shell can fly through the air before it just drops out of the air. The effective range is how far the shell can go before it basically just kind of... Same thing, drag. Typically that will not match the effective time. It depends on the shell. The expected recoil force, which we'll go over in a little bit, that's how much recoil the system is going to be producing per second. And the maximum rail draw, that is for railguns, which I know sounds really fun. We will go over those in just a moment. And then next up we have the firepower tab, the firepower per intake, and the shell power. That's the basically that's just how angry is your gun. Next up we get into the really important stuff, gun requirements. You can see we have barrel length for the 0.3 degree base inaccuracy. That is how long the barrel needs to be to have its base inaccuracy rating and not have it worse. And for this cannon, it is right now a 3.8. That changes based on shell size and parts and all that stuff. We have a 12-meter barrel, so we're fine. The barrel length for propel and burn, self-explanatory. How long it needs to be to get the full use of all the gunpowder, 7.8 meters. We have more than that. And then the really important ones, clip length required, 3 meters. That's why we chose the 3-meter autoloader. Typically, what you want to do is, for a default 12-part shell, you're going to want to think, okay, I have a 200-meter shell, we're going to need a 3-meter clip loader. Basically, always try to think 100 above, or 1 unit above the 100, basically. So, 200-meter shell, 3-meter clip loader, unless you're using a smaller shell, but then that goes into more semantics of just the specific uses of different shells and what you need for your situation. We're not going to go into all that. Basically, just roll thumb, try to use a bigger autoloader than you think you need, till you figure it out, and then go from there.
I see.
And then the shell plus casing length, that is how long your shell is. That is in millimeters, so basically 1,000 millimeters is 1 meter, so that'll tell you where you are. This shell currently, if you have not changed the different components, is a 2,760 millimeter shell, so just shy of 3 meters. Never mind, hold on. Wait, shell plus casing. Oh yeah, and then the shell length on its own, which is the warhead, that is 920 millimeters. That isn't as important as the casing plus length. Next up, we have reloading. This is kind of like how much it costs. That's material costs, how many materials your ship needs to reload these shells. The reload time, how long it takes each autoloader to reload a shell. And then the barrel cooldown, and that is the really important one, if you ask me, which is how long, or it basically affects the fire rate of how many shells can it fire out per minute. And then the last ones here, we'll get into in just a moment here, because I want to touch more on the cooling systems. You have your damage stuff here. You can see your kinetic damage, which is how much physical damage is it going to do. That's your armor piercing stuff. Rule of thumb is the most armor piercing value you're ever gonna want, ever gonna need is 80. If you can get an 80 armor pierced shell, expect that fucker to be able to go straight through the enemy ship if it's big enough. And then KDAP is basically the combined how much damage is it doing combined with how much piercing is it doing. And basically for the damage, you just want that as big as you can. Explosive, the HE section is also pretty simple. That's just like, how big is your explosion, how much is it doing? I'm not too familiar with what you need for the stats. Basically compare the explosive damage to the health of different blocks. That's pretty much the important part. For this size shell though, which we're getting to the parts now. So, one main thing is, for lower tier enemies, it's not as important, but for higher tier enemies, it is. So for a smaller shell, kind of like below 300 millimeters of caliber, you're not really going to be finding much use out of HE, just because the explosion is so small. It's only a 10-meter radius for such little damage. So I want you guys to click on the HE warheads here. It's going to bring up a drop-down menu. And I want you guys to select the solid warhead body. And you'll notice your shell goes from 24 armor piercing and 4,200 damage for its kinetic to 27 armor piercing and a slightly higher damage. And then if you want, one real quick tool is if you want to select or change a lot of shell types. Now that you have selected solid warhead body, right click on the remaining HE heads, or warheads, and that'll automatically replace it with the last thing you selected. So now you're looking at the shell. One other thing is different parts will affect the shell speed. So now that we've gotten rid of those bulkier HE warheads and changed them out with heavier or more solid, the solid warhead bodies, it allows them to fly faster, which if you hover over, you'll notice the solid warhead bodies give a speed modifier of 1.1, so it makes a shell faster with more of these. And speed also, of course, plays into your penetration ability. The faster your shell, the more it's going to go through. To a certain extent. If you have a fucking 80mm shell going 2,000 meters a second, it's still only going to break through like one thing. It's all a balance game. But yeah, so this is a decent shell. But say, for example, you want more armor piercing. You're going to go into your solid... it doesn't really matter the order for these specific ones. I'd say just go into the one right behind the piercing head. And you're going to click that solid warhead body, and you're going to hit a Sabo warhead body. You're going to notice that your AP goes from 33.1 to 37.5, and your shell speed doesn't actually change because the speed modifier is the same. But you'll notice that the AP warhead, or the Sabo warhead, has a couple different stats here. It lowers the shell's health overall.
Yeah.
It sets the damage of non-kinetic, so HE, EMP, frag, and flak, and incendiary warheads to 25% of their full damage, because Sabo is basically like just purely for pierce.
Yes.
So you'll notice it also lowers kinetic damage because it's a more pierce, less kind of like thump kind of thing. It's just a smaller, more speed-oriented thing. So now, next up, I want you to click on the armor piercing head, because when you click on the bottommost segment of a shell, you'll notice there's a third thing, if you scroll down, for the nose category of your components.
The nose.
If you scroll down.
Oh.
There's a couple different ones here, but right now what I want to focus on is the Sabo head. This is the, well, Sabo warhead body variant of the head. And this one will take your armor piercing from a lovely little 37.5 all the way to 56.9. This is what you want to use if you want your shells to go Swiss cheese the enemy. But the Swiss cheese is made by Pinhead.
Yeah. So if I try to make like a gun that is to like break the AI, that's gonna be a good bullet.
Kinda. So I'll get into that in a little bit, but if you wanted to make a shell that, say, wants to, actually, hold on real quick here, stay in... Snazzy, you're in Sablehead 1, right?
No.
No, that's Neku. Okay, Neku, take a look at your shell's head here. Does this change... Did I just fuck something up?
No, you just changed the first one.
Okay, so you do see me changing that.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful, okay. Okay, that changes things a little bit here. Actually, so I want you guys to come into my section here and look at the strength shell one. And I'll kind of show you a couple things here. So, yeah, once you guys are in here, let me know.
We're here.
Okay. So yeah, a couple different things here. So, typically you want a shell to focus on a very specific aspect if it's like below like 300 millimeters. Because you just don't have a lot of parts. Or if it's a certain, or if you have a long enough shell, you can kind of like multitask with it. But with a shell like this, like a 12-part shell, typically you're going to want that shell to do one thing. And in this scenario, we're going to say, I want this to be purely armor piercing. So we're going to add another Sabo warhead body. And then we're going to add one more. So now we have 70 armor piercing. And yeah, but you might be thinking, well, Stren, earlier you said 80 is the most you want to have. And typically, if you want armor piercing, you want to have that 80. Well, how do we get the shell to get more armor piercing? Do you want to take a guess?
How do we get the shell to get armor?
No, I don't want you to ask. I want you to take a guess. Take a guess. How do you think we get the shell to get more armor piercing at this point?
We put a armor piercing nose.
Well, it already has the Sabo head, which has a higher armor pierce value than the armor piercing head.
Then we have a Sabo.
So another Sabo body, you think?
Not another Sabo.
Yeah, another body.
A fin stabilized.
Like this.
You want the fin stabilizer? You saying?
Oh, but it lost.
Oh, that's interesting. I don't know why it's done that. So
Because
actually,
it lost.
yeah, if you add that extra one, you go down in shell speed. So does that give you an idea then? If we add another warhead body, we lose speed. So what then? To get that full 80 armor piercing, let's add another gunpowder.
Oh, yeah.
And now we have a solid 86 armor piercing. You'll notice also the shell speed is actually higher as well. Because again, like I said earlier, more shell speed equals more armor penetration.
Okay.
But say maybe I want to have more warhead bodies, right? I want to have a bigger warhead body on the shell. I want to have it have more kinetic damage, but also retain that full armor piercing. What do I do? Well, I'm going to teach you guys about my favorite part of the guns in this, of this specific type of weapon. If you look at the top right here, below the shell gauge stats, we have the rail draw stats.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to set that to 500, and I want you to look at the muzzle velocity. I'm going to reduce that to 0. And then look at the armor piercing value. It goes from 63.6, 66. And you're like, huh, that's not that much. But this is also only 500 energy. This is like the main reason you want to have a lot of electrical energy in your ship.
So if you have it.
Oh.
So now, what if I say, let's say we want not 500, 5,000 energy per shot. Now we're going 1,600, 27 meters a second with the shell, and our shell has a armor piercing value of 90.2.
Oh.
Which then gives us the ability to add more warhead bodies. Now we have 80 pen for more damage without losing that 80.
See. And if you wanna like use more power, then we have to change the gunpowder to railgun.
Yes, the shell has, depending on the parts, it has a maximum rail draw. We typically won't be running into that because this thing's max rail draw is 12,000 some, and this gives us a over 2 kilometer a second shell that has 106 armor piercing. We don't really care about that much overkill right now because that's also a lot of energy, and for a shell this size, typically it's got its other uses. So at this point, this is about all I can teach with this shell, with this setup. So go ahead and back out. I'm going to go ahead and teach you, or show you guys, a new gun. Actually, no, that one's a bit too big. This one might be overwhelming. I'm going to show you guys.
Shren?
Yeah?
A quick tangent. Infinity Blade 2, the movie, is premiering.
What? There's movies?
Apparently.
Huh. Alright, so yeah. So I'm going to show you guys a full cannon setup that I have built myself. This is actually the Mark III Bob's 200mm cannon.
Small.
I missed something.
What?
Oh, dear God.
Yeah, this is the cannon setup for my 200mm gun for the Bob Mark III. It is built, and this is, to go back to earlier, this is on a turret axis, so this is what allows it to rotate.
This looks very angry.
Question. Why do we have that thing, that barrier?
Don't worry about that, I'll talk about those later. Ignore the barrier for now. Yeah, so this is kind of like my typical setup for a cannon. So, yeah, we'll talk about this here. So this is kind of like how you want to bunch up. This is a system which I will talk about a different system in just a moment here, but this is a no-clip system for the gun. So it is a permanent, constant fire rate. This thing fires at 92 RPM. And this thing is firing 200mm shells. And if you want to take a look at the shell here, why are you fucking with the name of my shells? So you'll notice that this shell. Actually, wait, hold on, wait, no, hold on. Is it this one? No, wait, no. Oh fuck, hold on. I'm actually gonna go ahead and delete it real quick because it's part of a different system right now that has some stuff that I am getting confused by, so I'm gonna real quick. There we go. We're gonna go out here. If you look over, you'll see a floating version of that gun here that I'm going to go ahead and use. So please don't go in and fuck with the name of the shell, so I can kind of figure out what the fuck I'm working on here. Oh, fucking never mind. I forgot about something. Shit. Okay. Okay, I'll talk about the shell specifically later. Oh, fuck, God damn it. Really would have been nice to have the Bob on the bottom of the ocean still. Let me respawn him here. Okay, so this shell is actually a 14-part shell. It is purely Sabo. It has 85 armor piercing. It uses 2750 rail draw. And so basically, this thing's entire purpose in life is to pierce as much armor as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Nether, how'd you do that?
What does he do? Oh, this. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, so I will real quick, just take a look here at the floating cannon itself. One thing you'll notice is that I don't have it fully armored, and I'll show you kind of like the way it's integrated into the ship. You'll notice in the front deck of the Mark III, if you want to take a look over here at the top of it, you'll notice that its guns are kind of set into the hull like this. And this is kind of the idea you want to have for everything. And I'm kind of losing track of what I'm going here, so I'm probably going to try to retrack myself here in just a moment. But basically, this is kind of the ideal setup for, at least if you ask me, it's an ideal setup for a cannon like this. Because 200mm against more powerful enemies isn't going to be, like, the main thing killing them. I don't... Okay, I need to, like, take a second here, because I'm yabbering on about stuff that I'm not thinking about. I need to retract myself here. I don't know what I'm talking about. Hold on. Let me refocus. I gotta lock the fuck in. Hold on.
Lock the fuck.
Okay.
in.
Where was I?
Oh my god, look at that size.
Okay. Where was I? Oh yes, I was demonstrating other parts of the ship. Right, so I think I've talked about the shell types enough. Basically,
Where's that going?
modify or make whatever shell you want. Make sure it fits into the autoloader. And yeah, there's... Stop fucking with that, you're gonna spoil some surprises for yourself.
Okay.
I'll go over the rest of the weapon systems in a little bit. Yeah,
Oh.
so one other thing here is, there's a couple more parts I haven't talked about yet. So the main thing being, if you use a railgun, you got a couple things that you need to have. Now I'm gonna go ahead and delete some of the armor here. It's not deleting properly, but I'm just gonna go ahead and cut off the kind of front bit here. That should fall off. There we go. Okay, so if you want to take a look at the front of this 200mm that is on the platform, I can show you guys what the railgun parts that you need are. So if you see on the mantlet here, we have a couple little things here. We have something spinning, and we have something that those spinning things are attached to. And real quick, just for the sake of being able to see what the fuck's going on with this, I'm going to tell these that these cannot spin. There we go. So, there's a couple things you need for railguns. The first being these railgun parts, the railgun magnet attachers. Then you need the railgun barrel magnets. Those go on the end of here. The more you have, the higher capacity of energy you can store to use on your shell. Snazzy,
Huh?
get out of the bob.
Yeah.
Get out of the bob. Young man, I need you to pay attention in class.
Okay. It's just...
Okay, so yeah, you need your railgun magnet attachments, the railgun barrel magnets, because as I was saying, the more of these you have, the more maximum energy you can store to use on your shells. But that's just storing. The last part you need for railguns are down on the base here. You can see these blue little cylinders. These are the magnet chargers, or the railgun chargers. Now, it's basically, depending on how much energy you want to use per second, that's how much of these you're going to need. If you look at any real part of the system, you see a bunch of stuff pop up on your screen here. So, you'll see a couple things here. So, basically, what you'll need is dependent on how fast your gun is firing. So, you'll notice that my gun, its rail use is 4,257 a second. Even though it only uses, what was it? 2,750 a second. That's because it's fire rate. You're going to need different amounts for different fire rates. It's simple as that. You just gotta do the math, figure out the numbers. And yeah, the last part of these that I haven't talked about yet is the recoil. Now, for some guns, it really doesn't matter how good the accuracy is. What the fuck do you keep killing that? I turned those onto God mode.
What?
Whatever, Snazzy. Oh yeah, so yeah, recoil. Those are really important. For some guns, it doesn't matter what recoil you have, if it's a less accurate gun. But typically you're gonna want to have some sort of recoil or reduction, or absorption in this case. So the block you're gonna want to need in the advanced cannon system next to the 5-way cooler is the recoil absorbers. Self-explanatory, the bigger the recoil absorber, the more recoil it absorbs. You're going to want, typically, that number of absorption to be bigger than the number you're creating. And the more absorption you have, the better accuracy your gun typically will have, because if you don't have enough recoil absorption, or even if you have equal amounts, your gun still suffers some inaccuracy. So you want to have more recoil absorption than you're making. Past that, it's just a matter of practice, but there is one last thing I want to demonstrate here. So I think I have them saved somewhere. Let me try to figure out. I don't think I have it saved on this. This? Yeah, it's this. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, so I'm gonna spawn something a little large over here. Don't get freaked out. It's okay, even if it looks menacing. So this here is a system that you don't need to worry about. This is some more advanced shit. Stop aiming.
Fuck.
Get out of the aiming. Because what I want to show you here... Wait, did I use clips for this system? Fuck, I didn't even use clips for this system. Never mind, ignore this. You didn't see this. Okay, so... do I have... Have I ever used clips? Yes, actually, I have one vehicle that has used clips. So I'm going to spawn something in here. This one's a lot less intimidating. I think you'll find this one a little cute, maybe. If I didn't spawn it inside of something else. So, Neku, how are you guys killing stuff? Because I don't know how to delete this.
E, and then you select it, and then there's a little skull.
Oh, right, this, hold on, yeah. Yeah, thank you. Right, there's a different way you can do it from in any menu. I just cannot fucking figure it out for the life of me. So let me spawn it this way. There we go.
Oh, it's leaving.
What is
No,
Bob
it's up.
doing there?
No, fucking whatever. I'm just gonna... Okay, there we go. Alright, so this is a tank I've made recently. Let me show you the gun systems here, real quick. I'm gonna crack it open like a crab. Stop aiming with it! So, what you want to do, if you're using a clip system, this is basically for when you don't really have the space for a bunch of different stuff. You're trying to make it more compact. You want clips because you just don't have space. So what clips will do, they'll store the shells, but you'll have downtime between shooting. So, for example... I don't know why it's not shooting. There we go. So fire... a bunch of times. It doesn't fire the fastest, but eventually... Eventually
what?
Give it some time. It store that. Oh, there we go. Eventually, it does this. It becomes unable to shoot because now it has to reload the clips. Because now it's out of shells. Basically, clips are for burst guns. Basically.
Why is it my game or do these guns keep getting soft and drooping?
I don't know what you're seeing. I'm gonna pull up
Just
your Twitch here.
because the barrel is going down.
I'm gonna look at your
Shut-
stream.
It got soft.
I'm looking at your stream. Hold on.
It's in its 40s. It needs some Viagra.
Okay, yeah, that's just a sync issue of the gun, the gun trying to aim somewhere differently on your stream than on my end. Because typically its default thing is just looking straight forward.
Yeah, it's not.
That's just a sync issue, yeah. But yeah, so yeah, basically clips are for burst guns. If you want a consistent fire, just use a bunch of autoloaders. And I will actually give you a demonstration of a burst gun here.
Did you like the name I give to the place?
Training grounds, yeah. Let me see if I can load in the ship here. Cause I have like a prime example of like clips and kind of like burst weapon style stuff. Is it this one? No, it is not that one. That is not it. That is the Gregor's, like, early days.
Gregor.
Yeah, Gregor was one of my earliest boats. Or no, it was like my earliest boat, or second earliest boat. Yeah, I'll show you anyways. This is the Gregor. This is my earliest boat. You'll notice it has a lot of simple weapons because back then I didn't realize how dog shit they are. Don't use them; they're useless. Yeah, it's a boat that can barely float. But this is not what I'm looking for right now.
Hi, Gregor.
I don't know if I have the thing I'm thinking of itself. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just spawn it on the platform. I think it is... Okay, I think it's... this one. Okay, so I'm gonna show you here is like the perfect example of a burst gun here. So this is a prefab railgun here. So real quick, yeah. Let go of the control for me. So yeah, this thing is belt fed. Right, hold on, I gotta do this real quick. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, this thing is belt fed. It doesn't use clips, it uses belt fed auto, or not even belt fed, it just uses normal autoloaders. It's basically the same thing as using a clip. So what it does here is it basically has its fire rate maxed out. And it just... yeah, it just spits out all its shells at once. That's basically the peak ideal of a burst gun.
Brrr.
No.
I can't damage you anyways. That's bullshit that you override my control of it. Whatever. But yeah, so, yeah. Them's the railguns for you. Or them's the advanced cannons for you. I love those things. They're fun. Now I'll give you here a quick demonstration here of again, the Mark III Bob is like the greatest example of, well, a advanced cannon focused system here. So don't control it. I'll take care of the controlling here. I'll demonstrate the weapons. So this is kind of like my perfect ship right now, basically. So if you want to take a look, if you go into build mode on the Mark III and hit P, it'll put like the blocks into a small mode so you can kind of see the internals. And then if you... yeah, so if you want to also get a better view, if you go into your build mode and hit free paint at the bottom, it'll remove a block from your hand so you don't have to have something permanently blocking your view.
That's what?
What? Oh, if you go into build mode and hit free paint, it's at the bottom by all the colors. It'll get rid of the block that's in your hand and instead just give you a block selector. Yeah, so, yeah, this is kind of like giving you a decent idea of what the internals look like, but I'll also kind of copy and paste these outside onto the platform in a moment, just to show you kind of what's going on. Yeah, so outside of that mode, you can see we have like different compartments with all the gun stuff. This is basically like give you a decent idea of like how a decent compact Compartmental cat. Boat!
Thanks. Thanks, bud.
I don't know what's going on with my brain today, man. Actually, I just took a sip of my drink and I remembered there might be a decent clue as to...
Dren, you muted.
Sorry, no, I just had to fix something.
Oh. You know, I'm considering
Alright,
ordering Taco Bell.
so yeah, basically, one other thing, if you hit Q, say, if you go back to the platform here real quick, if you hit Q on, like, the APS stuff, on the advanced cannon stuff, you'll notice on the core section, there is this weapon will respond when any of the enabled slots or all is selected. You can select different numbers there, and then when you're in the aiming mode, you can hit those buttons. Like, for example, on the Mark III, it is all on 1 for its advanced cannons. That is for, basically, like, manually controlling the different guns. So, yeah. That's one less little thing you might want to tweak every now and then, just in case you want to do some fancy or just fun manually aiming stuff.
What's the max fire for?
For an advanced cannon, the max fire rate is 2,400 rounds a minute. It's really hard to attain that in a reasonable, like, space.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah.
That's fire.
What, you want me to fire?
Yeah.
What are you trying to fire, this? On the platform?
Yeah, the big one.
Well, there's a couple issues with that. So, there's a couple things that will limit the fire rate. Primarily, it is, one, the autoloader and intake limits. As you can see, that can only go to 92 a minute. Someone is firing the Bob's weapons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So primarily it's that. There's also an issue of the cooling limit. A gun can only shoot as fast as its cooling limit will allow, even if it has enough autoloaders for everyone else. Please get off the Bob.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, so you'll notice,
How do you look at the robot?
Shift G should be. You have one on the
do
platform
that.
too, you just gotta hit, like, tab or some shit. Yeah, hit tab twice.
Oh, wait.
Neko.
Let's go.
Yeah, there you go.
Because I find like it is like easier to see something.
Yeah, so, yeah, that's, yeah, basically, advanced cannons, those are going to be probably your go-to for a while. They are, in my opinion, they are the perfect all-rounder gun. They have the ability to have really good fire rate, really good armor penetration. They can literally be set up to do anything. Incendiary rounds, armor-piercing rounds, EMP rounds, explosive rounds, HESH rounds, heat rounds.
How about bash rounds?
Probably. Actually, hold on.
High explosive bash smash head.
Yes, there is actually a squash head. There's actually HESH. Yeah, squash head.
Wait, really?
Gun treats explosives to place directly behind it into a shockwave that can create interior spalling and destroy trunks of vehicle walls. So
Wait,
basically,
it's not a mod. It's called Squash Head.
yes, squash head. This game has layers, dude.
Squash Head.
Don't shoot the Bob.
Sorry.
If you want destruction, I'll give it to you later.
Oh, I think I took a piece.
Okay, so next weapon system I'm going to demonstrate. I'm actually going to show you another vehicle here. If you look, I'm going to spawn it kind of in the direction that cannon on the platform's facing. Let me introduce you to one of my proudest creations. This is the Combustor.
Oh.
The Combustor.
Yeah, this thing is primarily designed to deal with wooden ships, or just ships that are flammable. This thing is a flying little hovercraft of absolute terror. By default, this version uses advanced cannons that fire HE shells. Yes, this is my own creation.
That's cool. How long did it take you to make Bob?
I don't want to. I don't want to think about how many hours I put into that fucking ship, because that's the third iteration. That is Mark 3. Mark 2 took me about 4, or Mark 1 took me about 4 streams. Mark 2 took me another 2. That one I think took a stream and then some offline time. Yeah, so the Combustor is a thruster hovercraft that is purely incendiary by default. But say, for example, I want to show you now my varianted version of it. The Plazbuster.
Oh.
For I'm going to introduce you guys now. If you want to look at the Plazbuster, you notice it has different barrels to it. I would like to introduce to you fellas, Snazzy. Hey, jingle jangle, attention in class, Snazzy. Jingle jangle. Oh god damn it, it's moving now because of the Combustor.
What? This is the Plazbuster?
The darker colored mini one.
Black one?
Yeah. So this one that's currently flying near the platform, this is the Plazbuster. Get off the weapons, please. Okay, so once it stops fucking flying everywhere, I don't know what the hell it's doing. Its avoidance systems are oh, someone's flying it. Or,
Next.
no.
That's not me.
No, its avoidance
not
systems
me.
are just being stupid right now because of the Mark 3. So... Fucking, you know what? You... Go to the bottom of the water and think of what we've done. While I wait for this stupid-ass thing to fucking... stop
Go
moving.
to hell!
Are you guys following it with your cameras? Are you, like, focused on this thing?
Yeah, I'm watching it with
Okay.
my camera.
So I'd like to introduce you guys to...
Woo!
Plasma weapons! Now, plasma weapons are probably one of the more badass weapons in the game. These things are built to break armor and pierce armor. Generally, fuck armor up. These things have basically a permanent value of 100 armor piercing. They will break armor. And they are pretty badass, but also typically a lot more expensive and take a lot of battery power to do. Neko, what are you doing?
Why is my game? Why is everything frozen?
Hit tab.
Yeah.
Oh.
Your dude probably fell off somewhere or something. Yeah, so...
Oh yeah, I'm under the water.
Okay, so I'm gonna go back to the main platform here. I'm gonna show you the basics of plasma. My brain is melting, so after this, I think we're just gonna have some fun.
Okay.
So, we're gonna go head over to here, and I'm gonna start showing you guys the basics of plasma weapons. If you look to the right of my little dude on the platform.
Yep.
So, like the advanced cannons, plasma guns have mantlets. That's where you mount your barrels. Your barrels, in this case, though, are called accelerators, and you can only have up to 16 meters, so this long.
See.
But, you know, it's a pretty good barrel still. And the barrel is just... so, the longer your barrel, the more energy you can use to make your shot fire faster.
I see.
So, that's kind of the basics of those. You have some different stuff that you can go on the end of the barrel that don't matter, or that don't count to the maximum stuff. You have 3 different attachments you can put on the end of the barrel. You have the magnetic stabilizer, which basically decreases damage fall-off, so you can fire at longer ranges for less damage lost over time. You have the magnetic splitter, which turns it into a plasma shotgun.
Oh.
And then you have a magnetic destabilizer, which splits it into 2 shots, but reduces its armor-piercing value. So that's basically more damage-focused than armor-piercing focused. And then there's another thing I'll talk about in just a moment here, but so basically the default, or the basic kind of like setup of these is you have collectors, and your collectors are for moving your charges into the gun itself. And so what connects onto these are your chambers. I'm going to use 2-meter chambers just for the sake of easy explanations. So your chambers are what store your charges. They're like clips. They're like mags. So you put them down like this. There you go. And so 1 meter, so each chamber can store as many charges as it is meters long. So 1 meter is 1 charge. So these 2 meter ones can store 2 charges. And then the last component you're going to need for this system is your generators. And you can also use connectors. Those allow you to have more like shapes to your internals setups. But yeah, your generators are what generate your charges from your base's energy. Those have particular spots that they can be plugged into. I don't know why they're not working. Okay, they work there though. So yeah, they can only connect to certain spots on a chamber. So there you go. So the 2 meter variants just generate more energy than a 1 meter variant. And so there you go, you know, good basic system on the internals. You know, you think you're done, but no, you're actually completely wrong. Because there's one more facet to the plasma guns that you need, aside from a lot of energy. Get off the controls.
Oh, fuck! I forgot I wasn't...
So yeah, plasma guns, their setup is pretty basic, pretty simple. But... Get off the gun. There we go. There's one major issue with them, is that their temperature. If they get too hot, I believe they cannot fire once they are over 1,000 degrees Celsius. Or whatever temperature limit you set up. So, what you're gonna need now is on the barrel, you're gonna put heat sinks on the barrel. On the, the accelerators. And so these just go on the tops and bottoms of the barrel. Just like this. And these will just provide passive cooling for your cannon. Sir, get off the weapon controls.
Get off the weapon!
So there you go. Now it generates, now it cools down a lot faster. There is also, pretty much that's it for the, like, I'm going to ban you from using the fucking weapon controls, I swear to God. Get off the weapons. Focus. Jingle jangle, focus. Which one of you fucking middle schoolers isn't focusing?
What happened?
Okay.
Hello?
So, that's pretty much it for the basic external parts of the for the plasma guns. But now the most important parts of this are the stats and setup configurations. So if you hit Q on it, you pull up the menu.
Plasma cannon.
Yep, you go into the plasma cannon thing, and this is where the most important parts are. So this is where you can change how many of your charges are used per shot.
Wow.
Get off of it, please.
Sorry.
So we can go from using 1 per shot to all of them per shot, and that basically changes your damage per shot. I don't think it's exactly linear, but
heat.
yeah, it also increases the heat per shot, yeah. So that's how that works. You can also increase the energy charge per shot, so this is how much energy is used per shot. This makes it faster or slower. It also increases the amount of heat that is used.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that's basically...
Bullshit! Bullshit! Bullshit,
What
bullshit.
did RPM do?
RPM is rounds per minute. That's the fire rate. You can either figure out, like... These ones are a little hard to figure out, like, how fast its max fire rate is based on, like, charges per second.
Then
So...
we can put energy for cooling.
Yeah, and then energy for cooling is extra energy that is used to cool off the barrel. Basically, this one takes a lot more numbers to figure out the exact setups for. But they are more than worth it. What's up?
And the
Burst size, right, yeah, sorry, burst size. So basically, say for example, we don't want to go above 200 degrees Celsius for the temperature, for, like, maybe we don't want it to get so hot that it's a really big target for, like, IR cameras. So once it gets to that 200 degrees, it'll stop firing, and then once it cools down enough, it'll fire burst of 3, and then continue firing. Until, though, right now it's actually not able to fire because it
So
doesn't have
you
any
can
charges.
set it to. You can set it to not exceed a certain.
Yeah, and then if you set up the burst thing, it'll basically fire that many shots and then cool down again.
And also you can change the color.
Yeah, and then there's also the color and stuff that you can change as well. So
Oh,
now it's green plasma.
Piss laser. Oh, speaking of lasers, isn't there lasers in
Yes, there are lasers. I will talk about those here. I'll demonstrate them because my brain is crumbling right now. So I'll demonstrate them with the vehicle I've made that does use those. So I will show you a bob I designed that's a variant of the Mark II. Yeah, the Mark II. This is a bob that was designed with smaller enemies that fly around really fast in mind. This is the Bob Zapper.
Bob Zapper.
Yes. So this thing uses lasers, and well...
Oh.
Yeah. It's got a twin laser system. You can also do one lasers. Oi! Stop shooting the fucking ship.
Who's shooting?
You. Or Snaz, I don't know, whoever was
No.
shooting the fucking plasma guns.
I fell in the water. I fell down. I
You.
forgot how to.
Oh God! Did it just murder me?
I made it. I controlled it to shoot you.
Haha, take that. How do I
Ow!
How do you what?
spawn?
I don't know. I gotta be honest, I don't use the Rambot thing. Yeah, so...
I
I
just
won't
got
shoot you anymore.
deleted by green lasers.
Yeah, so lasers are weird. You'd think they use electrical energy, but they actually are powered by engine power.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, for really good lasers, like these ones that are constant high damage output, like permanent lasers. So real quick, you destroyed the fucking Mark III again. Yep, you stop destroying the Mark IIIs.
Who is Nazi? I shooting at
I
Nazi.
didn't do shit. Neku.
Someone keeps deleting the Mark
shooting
III.
it.
Maybe I did the last one. I don't remember. But yeah, so basically, come up to this Mark III real quick that's flying up here. The Not Zapper. So I want you to just look inside the area below the big gun in the middle.
I can't really see very well because I'm still healing because Neku shot me with the
You can just
blunderbuss.
use tab.
Yeah, make sure you're
but
flying
my
around free cam.
screen's still fucked.
Oh, okay. Well, if you hit Shift plus L, you can turn on a flashlight. That should help. Yeah, so you'll notice that this is a pretty big room here for this turret. And it does have a little bit of rotation that it has in here.
Oh.
Yeah, this is the 500mm railgun of the Bob. So, you know, it's a pretty big compartment taken up by a pretty big gun. And I'll actually go ahead and delete the gun here just so you can see how big the compartment is in here. And you can see it's a lot of space. Now, I want you to go into that section of the Zapper. On the Zapper. And you'll notice it's even more full. This is what it takes to set up a laser system. I'm not gonna go into them today because these are a bit of a pain in the ass. But basically, yeah, lasers are big. They take a lot of stuff, but goddamn are they worth it, especially if you set up a good one. Yeah. That's about as much as my brain has power for tonight. Yeah, lasers are good. They're great for... Honestly, I typically prefer to use them for smaller targets that are moving fast rather than bigger, bulkier enemies. I just think that they're not as good against larger enemies.
Oh my god.
But yeah, so I'll definitely go into more depth the next session we have. But for now, you guys want to have a little fun now. Have a little bit of a... Witness the actual, you know, fighting and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Alright, let's, I know what the hell this is. I'm gonna destroy it. There we go. There we go. Destroying everything here. So I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna start something small here. I'm gonna show you guys a more advanced ship. Don't try to make something like this because it is not self-care. I would like to introduce you guys to the Stalwart.
That's just a fucking.
A robot.
The
Why
Stalwart
not?
is a marvel of slight cheese and engineering. For the Stalwart has 3 different joints. 2 for up and down rotation and 1 for side to side. It has a full 360. Like that. It can look up. And up. And up. And hey, that's behind me. And hey, that's the water.
Well, Stren, did you learn your lesson?
Yes, the Mark II version I'm slowly working on designing for the Stalwart has limitations on how far back it can look, because sometimes it will just do that to itself and it'll fold in on itself. Yeah, so this is the Stalwart. It's a pretty lower tier vehicle. It's for lighter enemies, but what do you want to see this thing fight, guys? How about some combustors? How about that? See some, or actually, hold on. Do you guys care about seeing enemy vehicles early?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I've watched a lot of Martin Sidepen, so I've already
That's fair.
seen.
Okay, I'm gonna
I've
spawn
already seen
in.
the boss.
So get off the Stalwart controls before you make it flip itself.
He's trying to make it flip itself.
I did as much as I could to prevent it from being able to do that to itself, but not enough. So I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in. We're gonna start with.
Yeah, look like this.
We're gonna start with the how about the river home from the Deepwater Guard? Get out of the weapon controls! I spawned on the wrong team, I think. Oh yeah, because the Deepwater Guard are friendly. Right, because in this version we spawn on the Deepwater Guard team. Let me spawn the Deepwater Guard, but enemy. Okay. So this time I will spawn this. There we go. Enemy ship. That's actually an enemy.
Okay, so it's tossing nukes at you. Is that what?
Yeah,
I'm
those are
seeing?
cram shells.
What did you say? It's cringe. You were doing earlier.
Why is it not moving?
That shield is not looking good.
Oh, I forgot. I had it. Hold on. I had it locked in place because I had to pull it out of the water. There we go. So it's supposed to be slowly gliding to the side and causing shells to not hit the same spot constantly. Yeah, you think the shield isn't looking good, but that's exactly how it's supposed to look. Beat up, but it's fine.
See, my question is, why even bother having an arm cannon than just putting it into the shield, integrating it with the shield?
Well, the shield's meant to take most of the fire. What do you think happens if I put the gun in the shield?
Because it's fun.
If the gun is where the primary spot of getting shot is, the gun gets broken. This way the gun's set back behind the shield slightly, further away from where the shells are going to be aiming, because it's moving to the left. That makes it so that the gun doesn't get shot as much. And if you're wondering, this gun, this variant of it, is purely for armor piercing. Yeah, so the shield is light. It's pretty much made out of the lighter metal and a mix of the normal metal. So it's designed to just eat HE shells on the surface of it. Did get hit by a missile, but it's fine.
1 second. Maybe.
So yeah, this is kind of, lower tier fight, not as intense. Not that big of a problem. It's just a slow fight. The Stalwart doesn't have that much offensive power on its own. But the Stalwart is meant to have a friend. Because the Stalwart is meant to run in groups of 2 or 3. So yeah, it's a slow, painful death for anything that faces these, unless it is equipped to deal with armor. Which these guys are not.
No oily men this time. No, I'm sorry.
Nope, just salty ships.
Yep.
And flying mechs. Yeah, you know, like...
Now, have you considered making a laser version of these Star Wars?
You know, that has not actually crossed my mind.
Because I feel like with its precise, like, movement control, or aiming controls, you might have better luck with it being a laser.
So, Snazzy, did you look inside of the, Bob Zapper?
Not extensively, no.
Okay, so I'll once these things kill the river home, which shouldn't take too much longer, I will show you the interior setup for lasers, because unfortunately the biggest drawback is that lasers, one, run off of engine power. So if you have one of these selected, you'll notice in the bottom right, where it has the little engine icon, it's like barely got a sliver left that's free.
There's a little munition trying to follow the one closer to. Oh yeah, it's. Is that a torpedo?
I know, it's just a missile that ran out of thrust, but it still has good aerodynamics. Yeah, so the biggest issue is one, again, lasers run off of engine power, and the stalwarts, since they're so compact, do not have a lot. The Mark II has a better system, but like, it needs more engine power because it's heavier, so it doesn't really have spare for lasers. And two, I'll go ahead and spawn in the Zapper again here, just because
Do they have a repair, self-repair mechanism?
Kind of. I forgot to show this off, but yeah, if you go back to the Zapper here, and look on the inside of the middle here, you'll see, laser setups aren't small. If you want them to be able to actually do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Which, it's in the middle ring here by the stalwarts, if you want to take a look inside of there. It is, yeah, laser setups are very not compact, if you want to have a good one. So the Stalwart itself is not really an ideal platform for a laser. That's why
the main cannon had to be taken out of the laser the
Bob Zapper. Yeah, the Bob Zapper is focused on the lasers.
Out that the main cannon in favor of frequency doublers and.
Well,
laser.
all of that stuff in there, Snazzy, is the laser systems.
Oh shit!
Don't worry about it. The Stalwart is not fine. The Zapper is. But yeah, so all of that in there, Snazzy, is the lasers.
Oh.
That entire compartment completely filled by all the yellow stuff, that is all the laser components. And then if you notice, there's those little blue lines at the bottom sides. Those zap through into the base of the laser turrets and connect the laser turrets to their components in there. They're fucking wireless.
Okay.
Yeah, they're really cool like that. They are pretty cool like that, but yeah, lasers are not compact, and that's why this thing is purely meant for lasers. I would have to design something like the Stalwart that is made specifically for lasers in mind. But yeah, so lasers, not the most compact weapon, but they are pretty solid. So I'm gonna real quick here. I'm gonna go ahead and scrap down the Stalwarts and stuff. Because next up, I'm gonna go ahead and give us a different little fight here. So I'm gonna give you guys a more exciting fight here. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna spawn in. Let's see here. What do we have? Oh, I know what I can spawn in. You guys want to see, how about this? Another thing I made recently. How about an X-Wing?
Oh!
An X-Wing
it's
that...
got plasma weapons.
Yep. So the X-Wing fires like... I'm slowing down time.
I'm sure you can get these things to open and close.
What things?
The wings.
Yes, there's probably a pretty solid way to do that. It's hard to do that with the space. Like, you can already tell this thing's a little wider than it should be.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because let me show you the more accurate to an actual X-Wing version, is this thing.
Did you make that one too?
Yes, I made this as well. This is my first try at it. Where it's like, yeah, this is nice and adorable, but it takes a fucking spitball to kill it. It also has terrible fucking attack.
Well, also, X-Wings in Star Wars were actually not very small. They were pretty large compared to a human.
I didn't really look into the scale of it. Yeah. It was more of a practice kind of design.
Let's see.
Oh my god, fucking... Here we go.
Are those afterburners?
Those are the thrusters. So yeah, those are... I'll get into propulsion next class, but... So how about we use some X-Wings and have them fight...
I think next class should be like, we start off by building a boat.
Yeah, I think that'll be a good way to start it, yeah.
And then...
Alright, how about X-Wings versus the Mark 1 version of the Bob, which is going to look a lot different to, what you've seen so far. You're seeing a little bit of the past here, except I spawned it on the wrong team.
I don't imagine it's going to go well for the X-Wings.
Honestly, I'm not sure. Oh, right, I forgot this version has the particle cannon still. I mean, the Bob Mark 1 has absolutely no armor.
Yeah, that thing's gonna get destroyed.
Its only armor is the fact that it is made out of heavy armor. But, like, it's one block thick on, like, any surface. Its fire rates are fucking abysmal. Its accuracy is terrible. But yeah, I forgot the X-Wings also are more effective as a transport ship than they are an attack ship. Yeah, no, it's not gonna go well.
Yeah, this thing is tearing its fucking ass up.
Yeah. Not a good idea, honestly. Let me try something else here. Hold on, that's not exciting. What do I don't... The issue is I don't have a lot of ships I've made yet. How about I'll do a Mark III Bob, because I don't think I've actually done this yet. How about I do a Mark III Bob here, right? And I set it against a really high-level deep water guard ship called the Crossbones.
How crucial are those propellers?
They help propel it in the water so that it can, if it falls partially into the water, it can stay up above the water a little longer for its thrusters to catch it. Yeah, so little fun fact here. So the Bob design is what's called a front-sider. It is meant to take the shots on the front of it. It is armor. Its body is the armor. Yeah. It's meant to get shot in the face so that the rest of its components are safe in the back of the ship.
Also, is that anti-ballistics?
What, the missiles?
The missiles.
Yep, those are anti-munitions. Typically they are used to counter missiles, but they can also hit those cram shells. So yeah, it is a little quiet though, but whatever. Yeah, so you'll notice one thing, by the way, if you were wondering, these barriers are the planar shield projectors. They are mainly used for lowering the damage of lasers and plasma. But they also have an added effect of being an extra surface for shells to have a chance to ricochet off of. Also, if you notice, if you watch closely on the Mark III here, you'll notice that sometimes blocks that are destroyed will get replaced.
Yeah. So it
I will
has
talk
a
about those
repair
real quick
system.
after this fight, but those are called the, I don't remember what they're
Bots?
called. Those are called, yeah, repair bots. Thank you.
Yeah, you talked about them a bit in when we.
Some people don't like them, like using a lot of them because they are a little cheesy.
What?
However, I like, because if you have a lot of them in a high material storage vehicle and a lot of materials, it basically makes a vehicle near immortal. As long as you have materials. But at the same time, it's really expensive to do so. But for early game, it's pretty cheesy.
I think the enemy ship just took out one of the frontal cannons on the side.
Yeah, the 100mm are really vulnerable. They actually used to be even easier to kill, but I added a slight bit of reinforcement that makes them slightly harder to kill.
I'm sure if you turn the shields a little bit, you'd get more coverage.
No, it doesn't matter. It's fine. The 100mm are allowed to die. What's not allowed to die is the 500, which actually did get taken out.
Oh dear, I see that.
Yeah. That typically happens a lot with large cram cannon using ships. Because it can't take that many explosives. So actually, this is this fight typically, because this is one of the highest difficulty ships for the Deepwater Guard that this is fighting, the Crossbones. It is a godly class ship.
Godly is the best one, right?
Yeah, godly is the top tier. But the thing with the Mark III, thank you for the hydrate square.
Godly is like the flagship.
Yeah, the thing with the Mark III is that even if it has just one gun remaining, it can kill the enemy. Because it is always repairing slightly. And even its worst guns, its fast-firing guns on the sides are 100mm guns that are firing pure sabot at, I think, 400 some rounds a minute. The 200mm guns fire about 1.5 rounds a minute, I think, or 1.3 rounds a minute, and they are also pure sabot 200mm guns. It also has particle cannons, which I'll also talk about next time. But yeah. And with the upgrades I made to the Mark III itself, its armor is so good that it's basically impossible to keep all guns destroyed. So yeah. Because the other part is, the design of the Mark III makes it so that the guns themselves are armor. If a gun being destroyed won't take out the entire ship, don't be afraid to use that as armor. Now, the 100mm cannons are basically a little bit of side armor that also fires back. The 200mm guns are basically fully armor. The 500's not supposed to die though. That one doesn't happen often.
How the crossbones is 69%? It's almost
Nice,
destroyed.
nice, nice,
Yeah,
nice.
so one main thing when fighting enemy vehicles is that if they are below 80% health and sinking, they will start to crumble immediately.
Drink water.
Yeah, but if they aren't,
Alright, the ship is mine now.
if they aren't sinking, they won't die until they get, like, basically, like, we are literally crumbling at the seams, we are dead. Can't move, can't shoot, engines are dead, stuff like that.
I'm the enemy ship watching.
So yeah, this is why the Mark II losing a couple guns is not a problem. Because even if it does lose a couple guns, if it still has a couple guns. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's not the most intense combat game ever when it's one-on-ones, especially at this range where the Mark III sits at 2 kilometers out. But that's fine. Yeah, it's just this is honestly a just tiny taste of what this game will have in store for you. I don't want to spoil the really good shit. That's why I'm spawning Deepwater Guard stuff, because these guys are the glue-sniffing faction.
The glue sniffing.
They are one of two. There's also the Onyx Watch. They also sniff glue.
What do you mean by sniff glue?
Well, these guys are pirates.
Okay.
Oh, it's stuck.
And there it goes. And the Onyx Watch, I'm just going to go ahead and delete everything here real quick. The Onyx Watch build shit like, I don't know. How about floating gun platform? Or, no wait, nope, sorry, wrong vehicle. Was it the, what is it? Bulwark? Oh yeah, I think this one. Yeah, how about floating 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9
My
cram cannons?
God.
Yeah. Do you see why why the Onyx Watch are also glue sniffers now?
Oh, hello, beautiful.
Yeah.
That's concerning.
I wonder where the AI of this thing is.
Honestly, I have not learned that yet either. Onyx Watch ships are built stupid. They basically, like, have no fucking AI processing needed, for the most part. Actually, no, wait, no, hold on. This one has a lot of receivers. It should have a large AI core.
Looking at
It has lasers! Oh, right, I forgot this thing has munition defense lasers.
Oh.
Oh,
I
point
found it.
defense.
Yeah.
Friend, I think I found it.
Yeah, I don't want to look in too much, though. I like to try to figure that out myself in campaign.
Oh.
But yeah, these guys are fucking glue sniffers. I love them. Because they have stuff like this, but they also have... Let me try to figure out the... I don't remember. Is it the buttress?
Oh,
No.
good luck getting to the...
Oh yeah, I think it's this one. Is it the Kunststoga?
My Taco Bell. My Taco Bell. My.
No, it's not that one. Oh, the Strassland! Yeah, how about this?
Oh, that looks regal. Oh!
You see it now, don't you?
That is what they called the Ironside back. Like,
Yep.
there was a
Everything-
ship once upon a time.
Pretty much everything above the surface of the water is a cannon on the sides, not an actual wall.
Yeah.
This thing's fucking hysterical. I do love it.
Styleland.
Yeah, they are glue sniffers, but yeah. I'll just give you a taste. I'm not gonna tell you what this is, but I'm just gonna give you a taste of this thing. Well, I'm about to spawn here. Anyways,
I think I know what you're about to spawn here. Spawn it. Oh, are those tanks? What the fuck?
no, some deep order guard. I think I actually spawned a couple cone style guys. Yeah, those are like water tanks. Yeah, they're silly little things. Yeah, let me show you what I just spawned again here. I'm not gonna tell you what this is, what faction it's a part of, but this is just a taste of one of the other factions.
Oh.
You don't know yet. You haven't seen the actual threat.
Oh. I see why it's called Charger.
You recognize that explosion? Did you recognize the explosion it just made?
No.
Here, let me remind you here. Go back to the material zone.
Uh-huh. Oh, shit!
There's a faction
see
you're
what
going
it's
to fear,
supposed
no
to
matter how
do.
big your vehicles are.
I think I know what it's supposed to do.
Mm-hmm. There you go. There you go. I guess the last thing we can do here is, let me see here. What is... Oh, yeah, here, hold on. I gotta treat you guys to the penguin.
The penguin.
Yeah, it's a penguin, but it flies.
Oh, did you make that?
Yep, this is my first plane. It's a flying penguin.
Where?
So
you-
that would make it.
Can you
That
make
would make it a
still for a
crow
while?
then.
No, it's a penguin.
It's a penguin. Okay, that's fair.
Uh,
Oh, it
so
looks
can you-
hilarious. Neku, look at it from the top down. It's fucking
Yeah,
hilarious.
I'm looking at it from the top down. Sven, can you stop it for a second? I need to take a screenshot.
No, okay, so what you can do is if you hit
Control shift or Windows
Control
key
caps
shift
lock.
X.
if you hit
Okay.
Control caps lock on a ship, you can lock yourself to one of the blocks and follow it.
Control.
Control caps lock.
Okay. Oh.
So this thing uses 2 large missiles, or large missiles, I think, and 4 small missile launchers. This thing absolutely sucks, but it's funny.
He leaves the penguin.
Oh, can you imagine it being a bomber? Though?
It is.
Come on.
I have.
Well, it's more of like a missile ship, but same thing.
I have to send this stuff in.
I guess the last thing we could do,
See, I have a friend.
Oh,
that
actually,
prepared
here, let me
whole
show you one more
series.
thing. Prepare for your computers to freeze the fuck up for a moment.
How about yours?
Oh, mine's fine, but, behold my capital ship.
Oh, yeah, it froze for a bit. It looks.
Its coloration's wrong because it's spawned on the, Deepwater Guard faction. Hold on.
Oh.
Oh. Oh, my
Hang on.
Taco Bell. My Taco Bell.
Bye, Zazie. I will miss you.
Give me
There
a
you go.
second.
So yeah, Neku, behold my capital ship.
Hmm. Lot of air intake. Let's see. A good amount of generators.
Yeah, if you look on the
Outboarders.
interior, you can see the generators are, or the engines. It's just a brick back here. Says he's gonna come back and he's gonna be like, "What the fuck is that?" Because
Oh.
Neku, do you want to look at the top of the back real quick? Do you see the like bumps on that back area?
Yes. Oh my god.
Those are all missile silos. There's 60 of them.
Jesus. Oh wait, I remember you building this.
Yep. My pride and joy. Hey, Vol.
Gentry.
Andrew, you got it.
Gentry. Hatch.
Yeah, I'll go over missiles next time, though, for sure.
Where's the AI for all this?
The AI is down in the engine bay. Or the, steam engine bay. It's encased in rubber between the steam engines.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's a
That's
beefy
smart.
AI. It's encased in rubber to make it extra EMP resistant.
I mean, if someone can shoot from down to up, maybe. But that's gonna be hard from a ship like this.
Yeah, this thing is designed to not let anything below it. The whole point is to...
Question.
Yeah?
How many materials just to move this?
To move it, not actually that many. It's not that inefficient. You're asking the wrong question. It's not how many to move, it's how many build it. And this thing is 3.3 million materials.
Cause Jesus.
It is pretty expensive to move, though. But yeah, this thing is, yeah, my pride and joy. My crown ship. I wouldn't actually call this thing my pride and joy. I think the Stalwart still kinda has that. Actually, no, the Combustor, I think.
Oh. Let's go. I'm part of the ship now.
But yeah, this thing is definitely my crown jewel, though. Like, what do you do against this much firepower? You don't. You die.
Thank you, Q.
Ah, yes, I did. I was wondering if you just blipped away or not. I was trying to shoot you.
I shall be back.
Watch out for the missiles, Neku.
You can hit me. If I under you, we can.
Yeah, if you're under the railgun, I don't have any options to hit you yet. Oh yeah, you can take a look at the railgun compartment.
Oh. Oh. Alright. You cannot shoot me even above the cannon. Oh my god.
I think you'll find that to be untrue.
Oh.
Not if I get the missiles to hit itself.
One sec.
Damn, Snazzy left as I was trying to show off my crown ship, man. It's cringe.
But probably if I had a ship, I probably would be right here.
Ah, shit, I was muted.
Really in-
Hi.
I came back.
Yeah,
Gave me the wrong fucking drink.
damn, that sucks. So, do you see my my crown ship, Snazzy?
Yeah, I was commenting. I was like, holy shit, I saw a lot of rounds going down range.
Yeah, it so let me describe what it's got here for you. It has 200mm guns like the Bob Mark III, but this one, both of them fire at 820 rounds a minute.
Mm-hmm.
The 200mm are instead 300mm on this ship that fire at 1 round a second each, and they have this lovely alternating fire pattern. It just takes them a couple shots to get into it. There you go. And this lovely synchronization thing going. I'll get it to hit you eventually, Neko, I swear to God. Sorry. Anyways, as I was saying, it has the twin 300mm firing at 1 round a second. The railgun fires at 40 rounds a minute. Which, again, it is a 500mm cannon. It has two particle cannon, two twin particle cannon system on the back. Those are more experimental weapons, but they kind of help sometimes. And it has 2 non-functional Sea-Wiz guns, because they don't actually really do enough damage to destroy any.
I want to see this
dangerous
thing up
conditions.
against a Megalodon.
A Megalodon? What is that one? I think that's a Steel Strider ship I haven't seen yet, so I'm not going to do that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I have not seen godly Steel Strider ships yet, so I won't do that. But instead, I'll show you it against a Bob. I'll show you it against a Mark III. Just to show you the sheer difference. So, by the way, Snazzy, just to put in perspective, the Mark III Bob costs 851,000 materials to build. The BFB, which is my crown ship, the big fucking Bob, costs...
The big fucking Bob.
Yeah, the big fucking Bob. That costs 3.3 million materials. If I can spawn it on the wrong team, hold on. There we go. I'm gonna go ahead and load it in on Steel Striders. That'll probably look nice. There you go. Yeah, and behold, what happens when anything fights the BFB? Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. Did I mention that it also has 2 plasma cannons that fire at, I believe, 300 rounds a minute? Yeah.
Okay. Oh, they're gonna be there for a while because they're both shooting at strong spots.
Yeah, but you gotta remember, the BFB, one thing about it, it has the single strongest 500mm railgun I have ever designed.
Okay.
In terms of shell power. So you think that it's gonna take a while, but... It's already destroyed one of the 200mm guns in the Mark III. I think that's the other one. Yep, there it goes, and it's dead. It's dead, it's just waiting to start dying. And there it goes. So yeah, that is the power of the BFB. The only thing it can't do is swim. Where you see, if it goes in the water, it drowns.
So, in theory,
Yeah.
if a boat was fast enough to dodge its barrage,
Mm-hmm.
which is unlikely, but it needs to take as many hits as possible, got under the ship and pulled it somehow downwards, that would be its finisher.
Well, there are things that can pull ships, but... Well, here, I don't know the actual weight, like, metric, but I'm going to assume it's kilograms. The Mark III weighs 7.3 million. I'm going to assume kilograms. If you notice, it hovering basically maxes out all of its thrusters.
It hovering is a miracle. I want to mention that.
Yeah, it is the heaviest thing. Actually, no, not all of its thrusters, but most of them. Yeah, it, yeah, it's... Oh, wait, hold on. I had it on, hover, or frozen in the air mode. There we go. Yeah, no, hovering does not max all the thrusters, actually, my bad. It was just trying to get up to its fly height, but, yeah. It does not, actually. It barely uses them. It's basically half thrust when it's hovering.
Okay.
At full thrust, it can fly up, straight up, at about 80 meters a second. At full thrust. Nothing's dragging this anywhere.
Well, okay. But
The other thing is, getting underneath of it is a challenge in itself because it can fly sideways at about 70 meters a second.
yeah.
And that's its combat pattern, is it strafes to the side to circle enemies while facing forward. So yeah, this thing is a menace, but yeah. So that's yeah. Yeah. Maybe next time I'll be a little more coherent, but that is our first lesson done, I think.
Okay.
I think. I'm not the greatest teacher ever, but I think I can at least describe decently enough the basics.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I don't get sidetracked again, maybe next time I'll actually have gotten some more sleep.
Maybe make not a script, but like a general.
Like a plan chart, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, something like that I'll probably do. I got out tired though.
Mhm. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll definitely try to plan up a second session here to go through more stuff here.
Okay.
Finish talking about weapons because I didn't touch properly on laser design. I did not talk about the missiles, which are pretty important. I haven't talked about flamethrowers yet, and I'm not going to because I have not used them yet.
Flamethrowers sound a little.
And then next time I'm also probably going to talk about propulsion. That'll coincide pretty well with vehicle design, so I think, yeah. Kinda, I guess, I guess your okay, class, your homework for for today is, think about what kind of ship you want to build.
Yeah, I think I've already got some designs in mind, but I need a rumigate on it, fulminate, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, get some ideas of what you want to build. Try to keep them medium size. I think it's fine. Because remember,
Okay.
it can take a lot of hours to build a ship and get it to
Okay.
function.
Well, I guess without
I think
further...
actually I don't want to limit you guys to anything. I think for this first one, let's try to keep it to just boats, just floating boats.
Yeah, boats.
Because that's what I started with. I think that's the best introduction to get used to just the different systems without having to worry about the thing being able to fucking fly or something.
Mhm.
Because that's
Okay.
when things get really bad.
Well, I guess until next time.
Is until next time indeed. Class dismissed.
Okay.
He's gone. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and head out here too because I am apparently barely coherent. So, thanks for swinging by, everyone. Hope you all enjoyed tonight's stream. Hope you enjoyed me doing a little bit of teaching to the fellas. Just the vibes, you know. If you're new here, I stream every single day, 5 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time are my usual hours. On Wednesdays, though, it is 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Those are my break days, so I do a fish cam on those days. Yeah, make sure to check out sections for links to my other socials and my Discord and stuff. And yeah, I'm not, I don't think I want to raid tonight. I want to go get a snack or something. So yeah, I'll see you all tomorrow. I think tomorrow I will actually be doing, sorry, Battlefield is what I think I will do. Because I want to play more shooty after this. I think I'm cooled off from it. I know I got a little salty yesterday. I think I'm ready to go back into. I'm ready to get back into it. I don't want to miss too much more time of that. Yeah, so I'll see you all tomorrow for that then. Till then, everyone, take care, stay safe, stay healthy, all that good shit. I'll see